I didn't know if you were actually like on the clock working or
Well,
what,
I
but you
am
were
on my work
focused.
computer.
Laser focused.
I was trying to bang something out real quick before I go. It's 4:30 in the morning here, man.
Whoa. Over there trying to bang it out in front of me, huh?
I feel like I know you more now. So I
Yeah.
can do that kind of thing. You know, it's like really after what we experienced, are there any boundaries left?
I don't think so. If
No.
there were, we blew past them. Like we didn't even just go through them. We went past them.
Yeah,
It was a phenomenal weekend.
it was. I
No
really wish that
regret.
more of our friends could have been there.
Yeah, yeah. So I still have no regrets.
No,
They might,
it's
they might have regrets, but
well,
I
their
don't
regret was that they weren't there.
exactly. I
I
don't
mean,
have any of those. I was there.
Raider Nation, what's up?
Good morning. There's
Pops, good
Marvin.
day.
Yo, did you know that Marvin was there?
Dude, I've been like stumbling across all kinds of people like after the fact
Yeah.
as I'm watching videos. I'm going, what the fuck? How did I not know you were there and stuff? But then again,
Blew my mind.
I as I'm watching a lot of stuff, even from within our group, you know, I'm absent. I was kind of focused on the floor at times.
You were in the
And
pocket.
I
Rob
was in my
the
own
pocket.
world. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm on a mission to win.
Zoning?
This. I was on a mission to win this damn thing, and
No one told me that it was a competition. I didn't
No.
realize until Rob started showing books. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? What's happening here?
on my budget, I'm going to pick up the biggest goddamn shit I can.
Justin showed up and showed off a book that he got.
Wow.
And it just flipped a switch in Rob. It's like, I have to approach this from a different angle now. What is my plan?
Actually, I went in. I stuck to the plan that I had going in, which was I wanted to expand. I wasn't going to focus on my Spider-Man collection because I only had 2 books.
Well,
If they happened, they happened. But I wanted to expand pick up some major keys that many people probably thought I had, or but I didn't. And I thought, let's round out the PC something. It was really kind of DJ's fault because DJ had posted his room tour videos and posted and stuff, and like I saw like all these key after key after key. I was like, God damn it! I have a lot of keys, but they're all very focused. I need
it was all the clout. It was all the clout keys. You know what I mean? It's like the flash keys. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'd like to massage my my wall a bit and do something. So that's what I decided I was going to do. And then Justin goes out there first day with that book, and I told him, I said, hey, was that because I said, first of all, buddy, that's not ASM1. You told us you were coming to get an ASM1.
That is true. He didn't get one.
And he did not.
So what did he get? He got an
AF-15.
Okay, I think that's a little better. I'm just saying.
But it's not what
I know it's not seeing what you're going to get.
And I said, is this because I got my ASM1 first, and now you just got to go, oh, well, our game of one-upsmanship, well, then fine. Here's an AF-15 1.0. I mean, it's a beautiful 1.0.
It wasn't a dream. It was a place.
So now he has to build up his he has to build up his adult amazing fantasy run. You know what I'm saying? You got to get 1 through 16 now.
Yeah, this is the first time I think someone used Wizard of Oz as a quote, like on the show. Shout out to Aggressive Relax, man.
Fucking phenomenal.
Oh,
good morning, Esteban. How are you today? Hey, everyone. Finally here at the show's start because my cat wanted more food and I had to ignore him. He's using us to ignore his cat.
How's this? You like this? Look at that. See-through eye.
That's nice. But I was aggressively.
Let me get the green screen off, and you guys can see the actual how it finished. There you go.
This is from the sketchy show that Izzy
hosts
on his channel every Thursday. Izzy, I think it looks great. You got to do something with that left eyelash, though.
You like it?
It's on her hair. That's a phenomenal piece, and that's throwing it off. It leads the eyes there.
So I pretty much was, I had a sketch model that I was working on, so that's kind of what it was going for. Oh, we'll still toy with it a little bit, so. But
I don't need much toy, just that eyelash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you,
You
Evil.
you did really good. That's awesome.
Did you see Norin's Angela?
I have not yet.
Oh, it's gorgeous, man. He's still working on it, but it's gorgeous. So, everybody who went on was doing a phenomenal job. We'll do it again soon. Just can't do it every week, man. It's too much work for that to do this on a weekly basis.
It's a long show too. How long do y'all go for? A couple hours?
So we usually stick to about 2 hour mark. I think we went 2 hours because no one seems to be finished by an hour. So
you should plan ahead and have everybody like start their piece like 3
Well, we actually do. We a lot of us start off with the layout. So what I do is I knew firsthand Starfire was winning, right? Until the very end where it was like there was a little momentum going in towards Wonder Woman. So what I ended up doing is the outline for it. I ended up looking at what kind of model and what kind of pose I was looking for, because I'm unlike other people. I want to do more headshots because they're a little easier to work on a show like this.
Peter,
but at the same time, when I found a good model, I was like, okay, her hair's like this, because it was all about the hair. To me, when you think of Starfire, you think of the hair.
Absolutely.
So it's all about the hair.
If you say so. I'm thinking more New 52 Starfire.
Rob and Nathan think differently.
Rob, you're not going to tell me you're not into it's George Perez, man. Starfire is all George Perez there.
My first introduction to when I started reading any of that stuff was New 52 and Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Okay, so I could understand that. But still, man, George Perez Starfire is the best. That's the best Starfire.
I don't know. That New 52 is pretty.
I'll go with Izzy on this one.
Yeah, it's all George Perez, man. No one does the hair and other things better than him.
Nathan's already gave her a sleeve tattoo, though.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I seen that one. The sleeve tattoo. Yeah, that one's nice. That one is nice. But if I will say New 52, I always like the Michael Turner version, of course.
Good morning, Dr. Vaughn. Yeah, Esteban, you found the channel at a weird time for my haircut. Like, it's been a long time since I got a haircut, but I typically keep it short. Like, if you go back through my channel, like it's typically this length.
Yeah. As you can see, I'm getting ready for a show. I got a graduation ceremony in about 2 hours.
You told us that was last week.
No, I was getting ready for it last week. So there was 2 graduations. My niece had a graduation too. They're both graduating high school. So that was.
I'm pretty sure no one voting for her gave a shit about that.
I did. I cared.
Oh my god! I even put it in the comment under the vote. I think.
No one cared.
I voted Starfire. I want to see what you do with the hair.
Yeah.
Which hair?
Make the hair clap. You gotta make the hair clap.
Which I don't know. I don't want to touch that one. Yeah, so it ended up being 57 votes. Starfire had 39%, Wonder Woman 26%, Gamora 19%, and Erica Slaughter had a low 16%. I really wanted to do Erica Slaughter. I had some thoughts in my mind to do her.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I did. And I already did a Gamora a little while ago, so Wonder Woman, everybody gets a Wonder Woman.
I can draw Erica Slaughter. All it is like some blown out eyes.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I wanted to do it. It's the mask. It's the mask. I like the mask.
I can draw the knife.
Throw a little bit of blood on it.
Maybe that might be pushing it.
Yeah. Well,
an artist I am not.
We're all artists. So depending on how good we really are, we're all artists.
Not. Let me rephrase that. I am not a drawing artist.
Yeah, you can do a stick figure, can you?
Calling it what I draw is in calling it art is the loosest possible definition of the term art.
Okay. There's a lot of crap in different museums Trust me, I could get one of your pieces into a museum, and everybody be like,
I mean,
$1 billion piece of art.
look, when I was a young child, my mother really appreciated it. Now, not so much.
I never understood certain people, like guys like
Rob.
what's his name? What's that guy? Andy Warhol. I never got it. Like he just did other things. He just took things and did whatever he wanted. But like pop art, I'm not a fan of pop art.
Well, look, there's lots of different kinds of art. I understand that, and appeal to different people have different tastes when it comes to it. But no, I mean, literally no talent whatsoever here. I mean, I got nothing.
Good morning, Beckerman.
I could probably give me a straight edge. I could probably screw up a straight line.
Rob, did you get any what do you call it? Con crud. Did you get any con crud?
What are we defining as con crud? Before I answer that
I don't
question,
think we. Let's just keep it loose. You can do what you want it to be, like Andy Warhol's art. Did you get any con crud?
I picked up books, man.
I think he was just referring to like feeling under the weather in any type of way.
Oh, like
Just being like tired. I did not. I started losing my voice on day 3 because of all the that was happening. But other than
thank
just
you.
tired,
I got some light con crud, but on the mend. Oh yeah, it must be. Yeah, just from being around so many people, you get exposed to so many different things that it's easy to pick up a bug, whether it's just a cold or
that's a
something.
good point, Rob. Because like I felt fine the entire time and didn't start losing my voice till the 3rd day after you and I were walking around for a while. So I'm assuming I got exposed to California.
Could be. Do you have a feeling of inability to pay for anything and everything costs way too much?
Yes.
And
I am feeling those symptoms. Everything's so expensive.
But the weather's great, and so everything's a-okay.
There we go.
I don't know about that. Okay, but
Hey man, as long as I'm outside and the weather's a-okay, baby, it's all good. It makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. When I go to cons, the worst thing I get, especially like a big con, is my back ends up hurting in a tremendous way, like bad. I don't have any, and that's really because
have you ever thought of maybe having somebody else bang you from behind?
This
No.
is I didn't know Angel had COVID from this trip. I heard her mentioning it.
Oh, really?
I was around Angel plenty, even on the last day, hugged her bye and everything. She was one of the last people I even said bye to when me and Pops headed out. And even last year, the group that I was with, Jim, John, Chip, me, Pops, Jim, John, and Chip all left with COVID-19, and me and Pops did not. And we were literally with each other for every meal, walking around on the con floor. It was weird.
Well, last year was an interesting year when it came to COVID because people were just getting COVID just for like out of nowhere. You know, all this prevention that was going on. Like in my neighborhood, we ended up getting COVID and all that stuff. My daughter got COVID. I got COVID. We got it within a 2-month span. There's 4 in my house, so we all got it within a 2-month span. But the great thing is I got to stay home the whole 2 months. So
wow.
I enjoyed that part.
Bonus, yeah. You got a bonus.
So I was like, oh, can't go to work today. Can't go to work. So
yeah.
Now they don't care. You get COVID, it's like, we'll see you in 2 days.
No, I was I haven't had any ramifications or fallout from any of that stuff, but so yeah. Cheers.
They did a fun show last night on Remy's Let's Talk About It, doing a con recap and everything. Had a bunch of family photos, montage, and everything. It was really cool looking at his kids have a blast too.
I fell asleep, unfortunately, so I had to.
I should have done that.
I caught maybe like 5 minutes of it. I just wanted to come by and just say what's up.
Well, I was cooking myself something to eat because nobody was making something, and then I sat down to watch Secret Invasion, and
I liked it, but okay, that's it.
I don't know. I fell asleep during 80%. 80% of it I was asleep during, so I have to go
Yeah.
back and rewatch it.
No, Mike, I can specifically trace my voice back to excessive yelling that I was doing.
Over the AI, the AI.
Specifically. Like, yeah, that was a. I'm like, oh no, look what I'm doing to myself, and kept doing it. Some people don't get it, some do. Sometimes you're just a carrier. So, like, I think, like, what was
Sometimes
it?
you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, like I got COVID like a couple years ago when I went on when I went to St. Simon. I went down there like right when the Delta strain was kicking off.
Yeah.
So I got that Delta. Good morning, Stephen C. That was during the first C3 that
I was actually.
you remember that? Like I was down and out for missed most of the C3.
What I liked actually from that perspective though, it was pretty spread out. I mean, given it was big and everything, but I mean, I never felt like I wasn't like constantly surrounded or had people on top of me or anything else. So I had space pretty much everywhere we were going around.
Mm-hmm. What if Madison with a Y is a scroll, and that's why she was getting close to Wongers? Oh, what a turn that would be! Yeah, you both y'all watched Secret Invasion?
I fell asleep during it, so I've seen 20% of it.
Well,
So you didn't see the ending?
I saw the beginning and I saw the very end of the episode.
Okay, so you saw the two important parts of the show.
You missed nothing.
You missed the two important parts of the show. All the rest of the show is just them talking, just talking.
Yeah, it was it definitely wasn't bad. It just
the villain's cool. I like the villain.
Have we even met the villain?
Oh no, he's in the show. He's in the show when they're going in. He has a few moments where
I mean, like I know we see him at the end, but we don't really. We see him staring out a window, like he's in an Eminem music video.
There's a coffee scene. There's a coffee diner scene that he is, and he's talking to one of his henchmen. Shout out henchman.
That's trademark, by the way.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll send you the 2 pennies.
That's right. You remember. You're allowed to say it.
Okay, thank you. So give me my 2 cents back. So he's talking to the henchman and stuff like that. What I'm still on the verge, but I want to see how it ends up. But I'm a fan of the comic book, and it ain't the comic book, and it's not going to be the comic book, which is a bummer to me because the comic book would have been a great movie. You know what I mean? That should have been like the next Avengers movie to me. Instead of giving us something like Age of Ultron, you could have done Secret Invasion. That would have been really good.
That could be like their Flashpoint, like not in terms of multiversal movie, but in terms of being able to reset characters, like looking at Thor, for example. Like how fun would it have been to say that Love and Thunder Thor was a Skrull, and like the real Thor come back, the noble Thor, not like the overly serious, but not the dumbass. Show up, and that would be dope.
Yeah, or someone like Black Widow, where she didn't sacrifice her life; it actually was the Skrull that sacrificed her life.
Oh man, that would
have been crazy.
That would split the fans. You've cheapened her death. Yeah, but she's not dead now.
So did everybody else.
Yeah.
Like Gamora's dead, but she's not. So yeah,
he's the villain, Flash.
Yeah, Gravik's definitely the villain. So.
Yeah, I thought the episode was fine. Like I said, it definitely wasn't bad. It feels like a real TV show. I'll give it that. Like it didn't feel hollow or rushed. They're actually building out the characters and stuff. I mean, which in that situation, it typically takes a couple episodes to get into the groove, to get in the know with the characters, to see who you kind of start pulling for and attached to. But all in all, I'm excited to see where it goes. And I say excited very loosely. I'm not excited. I'm curious.
So to Evil Mike, you can't trick the Soul Stone. No, you cannot trick the Soul Stone, but you could trick the person to care enough about that other person to find out that person's a Skrull. So.
Well, there you are then.
So it's tricking the person, not the
For my
the
man
stone.
Flash by Night, I just want to say, man, of all the books I brought with me to get signed, I brought my first appearance of The Signal and got it signed while I was there, brother.
I've seen that.
And got Cully's doing still it still owes me, but he getting a commission from him as well.
I did get a David Nakayama signature this week while I was home.
That was one I skipped. I had I realized I already had like
Better?
12.
Oh hell yeah! Hold on. Yes, that changed the whole piece.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So let me put this back in its bag.
Already had a whole bunch of Nakayama signed books. I was like, oh, I'm not wasting.
Well, I got the the Wonder Woman 800 book, the exclusive.
Again, I already had a whole bunch. I figured,
Yeah.
why not? It was nice.
Did
Everyone
you
was
meet
lined up for
Miko?
Nakayama. It was a big long line, and I just walked right up to Miko, get my Miko book signed, and turned around and walked away. And I was like,
were a lot of guys charging for signatures?
Yes.
yes, I would
I
say,
only know one that doesn't.
yeah.
That aren't independent, or what do you call it? Non pros. I mean, they're still pros. Most of them have like a cover here or there, but like the names that you're wondering about, yes.
Yeah.
The
Except
vast
one.
majority of them were like $5, you know.
Yeah.
And if you weren't getting it witnessed, and then if you're getting it witnessed, going.
But
up
there's
there.
also you got to remember, like even though they weren't charging a lot, Steranko was making up for it.
Steranko's always doing that, man. That's
Yeah.
typical. That's Steranko 101, man. I see Steranko all the time. He's always out here. He's like in almost every show.
Oh, we saw him all the time there. I mean, he was here, there, and everywhere. He was like a
Poof. There he
goddamn
is.
gummy bear.
Just,
But you know,
yeah. So Esteban, we just call him DNA if you can't do it, man. That's it. Nakayama.
No excuses, Esteban. You must train yourself, teach yourself. It's your responsibility.
It's pretty
to
much
spell
how
this
it's-
last
how it-
name
it's
correctly.
pretty much how it sounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. He's a really cool guy, though.
There's no I. Nakayama.
I thought you said Nakayama.
Nakayama.
See, we can't even agree how it sounds, Rob. So now we're back at square one.
Well, just because you put a southern accent on it, that doesn't.
That's very observant of you and fair. Theater. I got to catch Miko one day. The Moon Knight #9 with the Punisher was his first Marvel book. Oh, nice. Yeah, TJ, your presence was definitely missed. At one point, I thought you were there. Patrick said TJ's here. I'm assuming that there might be more than one TJ. I thought I was referring to you.
Yeah, all of a sudden there was
Turtlenecks.
that was a big thread. All of a sudden, like, what? TJ's here. Where's TJ? It's like,
Yeah, I was like blowing the chat up at that point. I'm like, where's he at? Somebody please give me a location. It was a good time. It was a good time. Izzy, did you read Wonder Woman 800 yet?
No, I breezed through it, but I didn't read it. I don't know. I'm still on this thing about who this Trinity character is and who's her daddy. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
It's you, Rob. You're the daddy.
yeah, that's true.
I actually read a lot of books already this week. I read a ton of books getting caught up. I don't know if y'all read Superman #4 yet.
I have to actually pick it up.
#5.
I'd have to read.
When I say
Superman
that
1
that
too
is an
to read.
amazing book, like that is an amazing book.
Yeah. So I only read one book, and because of curiosity's sake is what I read it. Was Edge of Spider-Verse. Because of the whole Spider Boy, and
say it like that, man.
it was out of curiosity. That's the only reason I read it, and I was disappointed.
So this was damn good.
Mm-hmm.
This was damn good. I also read one that really stood out was the new Godzilla.
Oh, you got the segment cover. I got that too.
So I got the Stegman cover because the Inaki Miranda cover was damaged because, Diamond. So this is a placeholder book. I'm going to get the Inaki Miranda cover, but it says Tyler Kirkham on it. So I think this is a Kirkham cover.
Yeah, it is a Kirkham. It's a Kirkham. I meant Kirkham, not Stegman.
But Inaki does all the interiors, which is great. But this was such a good read. The way that it is structured and formatted, like you're like in that pirate time era, that zone. The way that it's like being a man in jail, getting ready to go to the gallows is like you can't tell if he's telling a story to try to prolong his execution or what. But like, dude, the way that this plays out was really great. It was a fantastic first issue. Like this was really good. Normally the stuff like the giant monsters are throwaway stories, but this was
Well, I think IDW, since they lost all those IPs,
they better put both feet into whatever they got left.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, and that's why they're gonna give a lot of love to Godzilla. So,
and I forgot who it is. I think it's Dynamite that's putting out the Kong book right now.
Yeah, it is Dynamite.
Which I was surprised at that at first, but then it dawned on me Kong doesn't wear clothes, so that is up their alley after all.
Well, they're gonna get the life model version pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can get a photo image of Kong.
Red Sonja cosplay Kong,
One who is even less close, that whatever Dejana Thoris or whatever.
Yeah. Card cut for sure.
I just thought Dynamite's so funny because they also have the Disney properties. So
wherever, man.
You got these scandally clad women, and then you have Disney books, and that's Dynamite.
Yeah, and he ended up with like J. Scott Campbell doing a cover for Maleficent. There you go.
I think I'm on the edge of banning Marvel again.
I was actually impressed. I've been picking up the Maleficent books for my wife, and I had sat down there, and she just looked over at the table the other day, and she goes, is that a J. Scott Campbell? I'm like, oh, honey, wow. I didn't know that you were recognizing J. Scott Campbell art like that.
Well, his art is extremely recognizable.
No, but
though.
She hasn't been reading comics for 25 years.
Still, his style has not changed that much. It's gotten
but just
how much style. You know what his style looked like 25 years ago?
Yes, I do know what his style looked like 25 years. It's not that much different.
Not much.
Not much has changed.
No, he wasn't doing much 25 years ago.
No, he was. He just wasn't as,
Yeah, he was submitting art inside the fan art to Savage Dragon.
No, 25 years ago is when Gen 13 came out.
Or maybe it's more than 25 years ago now. I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to think, how long have I been married?
Gen 13 is older than 25 years.
Yeah, it's definitely older. That's what I'm saying. He's been around.
Well, now that I think about it, actually, I've been married longer than that. Because my wife hasn't collected comics the whole time we've been married. I just lugged them around. And
she looked at you. She's like, "That's it. I'm done. I can't beat this guy."
No. She had stopped collecting comics. Well, she basically when she got into college, she was focused on her college work. But she still had them, and we lugged them around from one apartment to the next and stuff. But God, maybe 93. So I guess that's 30 years. Damn, time flies when you're having fun. But anyways.
It sure does.
So Gen 13 debuted in 1993.
All right, so right around that time. But Gen 13 wasn't a book she was picking up. She was only reading Transformers and X-Men, Excalibur.
Who wasn't reading X-Men in the 90s?
I wasn't.
You can blame the Clone War.
No, I just started reading comics in 92.
So right when Claremont left.
You didn't have to read X-Men.
I was reading Spider-Man 2099 and Fantastic Four at that time.
And we know why he was reading Fantastic Four, Izzy.
Tell me why.
The Sue Storm suit.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I remember that suit.
The fan force.
Well, to be honest, it was She-Hulk.
bad.
She-Hulk was still there first, but went out for much longer because it was pretty much the issue I picked up was the fight between the two different Fantastic Four teams where Ben Grimm gets his face clawed off and
Oh, he ended up wearing the
ends up
helmet.
becoming a big fan of Coors Light for a long time.
So he gets his face cut. He gets his face cut off, right? And it's that bad that he has to wear a helmet, even though beforehand
He thinks it is.
So he went Dr. Doom on us.
Yes.
I remember that series, and that was Paul Ryan that was doing the artwork back then. Which,
if you say so.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you on that just because Rob agreed with you on it. We have to cover our bases.
Yeah,
so
prove it. I say if you say so. Legion says prove it.
Prove it.
Okay. So the thing with
he's about to
helmet. Let's see who did that work. That's when he had the helmet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here.
I just remember that was distinctively what I saw. This fight, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, She-Hulk, and
it was Paul Ryan, Tom DeFalco, Paul Ryan run.
There you go. That's where I started reading Fantastic Four.
When it was Wolverine and Ghost Rider and Grey Hulk, that was like the 3-4.
She-Hulk.
That was three issues.
Spider-Man, yeah.
The new Fantastic Four is 3 issues.
I just remember that was what I picked up off the spinner rack.
I love that, man.
That and Spider-Man 2099.
I remember when Spider-Man 29 debuted. It was a lot of hype for it. That's why there's like 1 billion copies.
There's 600 and something thousand, but
it's like 1 billion.
It's like less than 700,000.
Yeah,
it's more than 500,000.
It's less than there are copies of Spawn.
That's understandable.
Yeah, but Spawn had 1 million. Didn't Spawn hit 1 million?
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I had so much fun hanging out with Pops. Well, the three of us, thank you.
Well, Izzy wasn't there, so Izzy probably was indifferent on that whole front. But
that weekend. What was I doing that weekend? I was doing a few things.
I
was getting clothes.
You said that you were too good for us, and that you couldn't be bothered to spend time with us because you're more important in the community.
That's what he told me.
We all said, "Are you sure, Izzy? I mean, you are." Just a guy who searches for rats and can't even do that in New York.
Yeah.
Said, no, you don't understand. That's how good I am. How much above you guys I am is that I live in a part of New York that doesn't have rats, and you guys can just suck it up. That's what I remember you saying.
In one day,
there goes Beckerman right there.
Page with a rat in it. We keep this shit up.
So the rat quest is still on there's still a hunt.
All day with the fucking rat.
Hey, I can't escape it, man. It keeps coming.
Yeah, because you promised to deliver, and then you didn't deliver a rat.
Well, my apologies. They were scared. Get off, Flash. There is no lawn where I live,
except where Izzy lives. Izzy's the only man in all of New York who has a little patch of grass, and he has to get out there and mow it, but he doesn't.
Oh, there's a patch of grass. And I don't think anybody wants to mow it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mike.
So speaking of Beckerman, your video's is premiering today for those people who weren't channel members. But thanks, man. Those pieces are awesome, man. So you guys got to see what Beckerman sent me. I was amazed.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
Yeah.
The prize winnings that I sent to you twice because the first time.
Because you didn't have my apartment number. That's right. So that's gonna be cool. There's a lot of good stuff there, man. I was shocked when I saw that stuff, man. That was pure excitement. So
at least the post office returned it to me.
That is true. I was like, oh, look at what we got.
Oh. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I've been reading a lot of books lately, catching back up from vacation there. Because I didn't read any new books really last week, but I caught up the last few days now.
Awesome. I've been catching up with work emails. Well, I'm finally caught up.
Did anybody? That took a while too.
Yeah.
Did anybody read a book? I don't know how it ended up in my poll, but it was an indie book called Tales of Suspense.
Suspense. I saw it. I think Josh picked it up.
I really enjoyed that. That scratched where it itched, man. I dug it. It was like 2 anthology stories. And hey, Coco.
Is it Dark Horse? I don't remember who did it.
I think it's Image.
Was it Image?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Well, that's what I'm gonna
'Cause I
do right
just
now.
put it away, so I don't want to go digging for it.
Nah, I'll get it. It's not
I
that hard
liked
to
it.
find.
But yeah, there was like a Doctor Strange kind of character in there. Like, I'm a sorcerer supreme, and then he just gets the ever loving hell beat out of him.
Yeah, it is an Image book.
It is okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
So it's Ashley Woods doing some of the work in there.
It was.
Cool.
I don't know who did it. I don't know how it ended up in my poll, but I want more of it.
I don't know who's TP Louise, but I know Ashley Wood.
Oh, TP Louise.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Still owes me $10.
There you go.
Me and old TP Louise.
Chris Ryle and Nelson Daniel.
Oh, I'm aware of who Chris Ryle is.
Yeah. Oh, they do have a Tales of Suspense homage cover though.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, anyway, that was a pleasant surprise, and then of course Hulk banger.
Let me show you guys what it looks like. It's actually a really cool cover. So if you could put that in, you could see it. Check it out.
Coco says Mark is better looking in person. Keep in mind he also met Rob and I and has not said that.
That's a nice cover, right?
Yeah,
Thanks,
right?
Coco. Needed that boost this morning.
I mean, I understand me, but my mustache, come on.
Not bad. That's cover A.
That's the one I got.
Yeah, but the other covers are pretty nice. This one especially.
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 10. It's an incentive.
Like I said, I didn't know anything about this series.
Yeah,
it ended up.
It is Rob. Look at it. It's Rob right there. Look at that. Complete.
Rob's mustache is the shit. Nothing about Rob himself or myself. Thanks, Coco. We really value that feedback.
Gives you something to work toward.
It does for next year. I got to get into training.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Dr. Von Hoot.
Hoot, 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 hoot.
Scott started my day off by messaging me about James.
I'm sorry.
About James Cameron and the Titan submarine thing.
So what's the status quo? I know it's no longer a rescue.
They found the debris, right?
It imploded.
Yeah, it's they've been gone.
Ooh, wow.
Well, that is actually the best thing for the people that were on board the thing.
Yeah,
it could have happened because that means that they died instantly.
It,
Rather than the worst thing that could have happened was to be either A, sitting without power,
no oxygen,
freezing while you slowly deprive yourself of oxygen until you die that way, or
Sounds
even
like
worse,
a Tuesday.
bobbing on the top of the ocean, waiting for someone to find you, unable to open the hatch because it's bolted from the outside, suffocating on the surface. Either one of those scenarios, not so hot. At the end of the day, implosion and instant death sounds, rest their souls. It's
the way to go.
It's the desirable outcome.
I watched the press conference yesterday, and it made me realize why journalism has gone to shit. Because I heard numerous people in the crowd when they were all hollering for questions, and eventually one of them got the question out. They said, "So what are the chances on salvaging their bodies?" I'm like, "The fuck did you just ask them?"
You just said imploding.
Yeah, well, they don't grasp the concept of the environment. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, forget the implosion for a second. The fact that it's where it's at and almost
over
nothing
2
can go down.
miles down. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll just send some divers down there. No big deal.
Not even that. Like assuming there are bodies left is kind of laughable.
Yeah.
Boom, there we go. Esteban watched Avatar 2. Loved it. I've been getting a lot of these messages lately. People saying I just got around to watching it. It dropped on Max as well here recently.
It's on both streaming?
Maybe they could send some of those Avatar creatures to salvage the bodies for them.
Ghouls, man. People who ask questions like that at a press conference, they're just ghouls.
I don't think that it was ill-intended question, because you hear that like when people get lost on a mountain or this or that, but it was just showed the level of like
they're not paying attention,
ignorance.
Yeah.
Well, they were trying to be respectful, like the admiral talking and everything, and even when he answered the question, he was being extremely respectful. He didn't touch on what people who comprehend like the environment is to a small degree even already know. His answer was like, just to remind you, this is an unforgiving part of the world. That was his answer.
Yeah, there's a reason we know very little.
Yeah, his answer was there are no bodies, but in a very nice way.
Let's look at the explosion.
It's like exploding, but the other way.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. There you go. Well, hold on a second. Let me answer that question with this. He pulls out the Webster's dictionary.
Line page is dropping at noon.
And then goes, oh, if in case you don't get that, let me do this one here. Roll that footage from Karate Kid. Squish like grape, Danielson.
It was pretty bad, because some of the questions, there was 2 times when the admiral just didn't answer. He's like, I have an expert over here, and he just walks off, and then the expert walks up looking around. So the question was, what?
Why am I an idiot, sir?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so there's wreckage, you know, it's a little bit of ways away. It's like watching Ricky Bobby get interviewed. Car ran good, everything ran real good. I don't know what to do with my hand right now.
Oh man. All right.
And it's unfortunate what happened to him. The more information that I saw about the Titan submersible, the more my mind was blown with how I would never get in that thing.
Yeah. Was it meant to be a joyride though? Was it meant to be
it's a tourist attraction, $250,000 a head.
It's a combination of they become partial. There's some research or some stuff that's going on with these tourists get engaged to do that stuff. They have a mission aboard the assignment aboard the submersible.
Well, there's a father and his kid there.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
That's the sad part and thankfully it happened so quick. He didn't have the realization time to know that he doomed his son. Because I'd imagine as a father goes, that's probably not a good feeling. It sucks. It sucks that they didn't do something safer and more. I don't know. Like Mark said, the more you learn about this, it blows your mind that this was ever an option to consider for people. Especially when you have the money and the research available to say, "Hey, this is a really bad idea."
I don't, Coco.
Resources,
then you find out that the Navy does something very similar on some of their ships, subs. So, apparently, it's just a controller. I mean,
I'm 100% with Coco on this. I don't care who uses it. Don't care how often they use it. The second I get on board something and I see a Mad Catz controller from 1998, I'm out.
I mean,
I'd rather see like a big clunky like thing that I don't even understand what I'm looking at.
What's wrong with a joystick controller?
You don't want the kid from Goonies to make your spaceship?
If I understand the science into something like that, I feel like it's underqualified for the mission.
You got it from comic book reading.
Of course, Durst is defending the controller. God dang it, Durst.
I don't understand. I mean, every joystick is
cock.
Yeah.
Surgeries with controllers, cock.
I mean, what do you want to use? I mean, they use steering wheels as video game controllers. They use joysticks. There's everything, game pads, every kind of thing. So
Oh my god!
What they need to use is Becker Scratcher right there. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to use. Like, okay, let's get one of those things out here.
But they're only happening in the metaverse, Durs, not in the real world.
Damn it, Esteban! I meant resources. It's early.
I
I'm
mean,
not sure
look,
yet.
the idea of climbing into a small space like that with 5 people and get bolted in from the inside, from the outside, so there's no way for you to get out. That's more the killer for me. Forget the goddamn video game controller.
You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad for the guy who has to deal with that, because we're talking about rich people trying to do something. So chances are some of them were, you know what they were. Not the kid. I look at the kid differently, but you look at these people, rich people, and they're like, oh yeah, let's do this. And then the guy who's actually the driver or the pilot or whatever, he's like, oh, I gotta. He's the one guy.
He was the CEO.
He was the CEO. Oh, even worse. Oh yeah,
So
come on, this is fun. This is safe. Nothing safer than this.
Like falls into his responsibilities is about to have like the worst year of work in history of his life, because he's going to be falling into lawsuits and insurance through the ass. Like, yeah, I can't even imagine.
Well,
they can lawsuit all they want, but they had apparently one hell of a waiver that included multiple times warning of the possibility of death. So
if their lawyers were worth a damn, they did.
Yeah.
On that joyful note,
so in other words, you're going to have to show gross negligence.
All you have to do is show the picture of the controller.
That's true.
And then, given that the
point out that they have no communications on it. I mean, like,
you use a Dreamcast controller.
They lost communication. That was the thing.
Yeah.
That sounds negligent to me.
They had the kind of when it implodes that they lost communication. That's what happens.
Yeah.
There's no little black box on this thing. You're going
go get it.
Too much.
Just dive down there and pick it up there, Mark.
I'm not saying go get it. I'm saying to give the location, like if airplanes have them.
There were multiple fails. There are multiple things, including a beacon that would alert where stuff was if certain things had happened. There were.
Did they have it?
Part of what there was they were talking about was
that's the point.
There were
none of that.
There were 7 different ways for the submersible to come to the surface, including one fail safe that didn't require any kind of power or anything else. But the problem is once you implode, there's nothing to all those things.
I'm just saying, I've watched Pocan Joe put better tracking on a comic book slab.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about like suffering.
All right, guys, I gotta go. Graduation time.
Yeah, I was just talking more about like being.
Congratulations on graduating.
Tell me about it.
Come to an answer, like
later, guys.
You know, like us them being able to find the wreckage shit and just.
Let's talk about HeroesCon.
Look.
No shit.
Mike, did you pick up any new art while you were there?
I did.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
We got a first time chatter viewer, S182, aka
I met this guy.
5000.
What's going on, y'all? Good morning.
Morning.
Nothing much. Good morning, dude. I had a blast watching your little stream yesterday. You said you were going to come hang out today. I was wondering what Scotty we were going to get. If it was going to be close up Scotty or nobody puts Scotty in the corner Scotty. Because that camera angle was a.
You got Scotty doesn't know this morning. I don't know. Yeah.
I've seen your road trip.
How's everything going? Y'all doing okay?
We're doing better than the Submariners these days.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Enough with the freaking submarine. Look at this. Only slabs. I've started putting all of my
con lanyards on there. Nice.
Badges from over the years. I've got to find my shoebox that has my old ones in it, and then I'll see if I can. It's already starting to kind of fill up.
Well,
but I really like that.
You can always put a ring on it or something, one of those key rings, or put a carabiner on there and make it have larger capacity, or any number of ways to augment it. But
look at this history of me not paying money to go to cons. God, I love it.
Or at least to get in the door.
Yeah. They get you in other ways, but
Scotty,
I
what
don't
do you
know
got going
why
on
it
today?
just
You're on
offends me that
vacation, so how are you spending your vacation?
Trying to work on my YouTube channel and catch up and make some extra content and just relaxing, man. Mainly just it was kind of a mental health break, just a little break before the madness that is the week of the 4th. So I work in
is that a
Berkeley.
Chattanooga Lookouts hat?
Yeah, I used to work for them.
Nice.
Yeah, I worked for them for a couple of years. I was on the grounds crew getting the field ready for the game. My family actually still sells them all their field materials. My dad and my brother own an athletic field construction company.
I like that.
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, I'm just relaxing, man. Just catching up on my YouTube stuff and just trying to hang out on some live streams and that I can't normally hang out on, like this one, because I'm normally at work.
Or like the one yesterday.
Work is for suckers.
Yeah, work is for suckers.
Says Rob while he's working.
That is true.
Well, you got to do something to have the comic book money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Avengers ones don't buy themselves.
Right, exactly.
Here comes the bragging. Here comes the bragging.
Rob the big game hunter.
Yeah.
Watching Rob at the con was the only Craven trailer we needed.
Right?
I actually thought about Rob.
It was
yesterday.
like watching a dentist go to Africa and just bag nothing but lion heads.
Take all that frustration out on the wildlife.
I actually thought about Rob Fat Stacks yesterday. I found some Golden Age stuff. This is actually
major EPIC. Yeah, that's the promotional giveaway book for EPIC powder. That was there's cases and cases of new old stock of that book laying around, but it's still a fun book to pick up.
It's cool, but they found like a whole warehouse full of them recently.
Yeah. There's like you can pick them up for like $9 to $14, but they're in good condition. I had picked up 2 of them. I had it graded, and they came back 8.5s, mostly due to color rub on the back of the books because they were stacked in these boxes. But
still, like in really nice condition for a 1951 book.
Yeah, no, it should be everybody's gateway drug to atomic age sci-fi and golden age books. That's fine. Mad respect.
Where's this warehouse these books sit in?
I don't know. Somebody had a bunch of new old stock of the, because it was, I don't know that you know what? I actually don't know anybody who knows that they were actually given out. Or it was like they were intended to be given out at these pharmacies and general stores and whatnot, and they never were. I don't know.
Yeah, I did some research and learned about them yesterday. It was some sort of Ovaltine like powder.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I never heard of the stuff myself either, and I like to think that I've heard a lot of that weird stuff, but
it was a good learning experience. I like learning stuff like that.
Yep. Good times, man. You know what's sad is even after all this stuff, and I'm sitting here going through stuff, and I'm seeing all these books for sale, and I'm going like, ooh, I want one of those. I want one of those.
You didn't scratch the itch.
But I'm not buying anything right now. I just have getting a lot of I got a lot of mail that's been showing up. Holy cow. All the stuff I ordered before I went to con.
I haven't had like the It Surely Buy books for a while. It comes and goes. It comes and goes.
I'm pre-ordering again.
For being at the con, not really having the itch, so something really had to jump out, or a couple of things that popped in mind.
I can't claim that, Coco. Unfortunately, new old stock is a term that's been around in the collector's world for quite some time. But appreciate you.
Also in the retail world as well.
Yeah, especially motorcycle and automotive world. That's on bicycles. It's very common when you're talking about accessories and whatnot, where people find, old auto parts stores that go out of business or something, and they've got all these brand new factory original parts for vehicles that are long since off the road for the most part, and they become they're people's dreams because they can then put original parts on their old classics without having to buy repop stuff.
Daredevil NYC, what's up, man? He came and hung out with me yesterday morning.
Nice. Speaking of Daredevil, Chip picked up a big book.
Yeah. I
What do you
showed
got?
up and there was already people with monster books.
What did he grab?
A Daredevil book, yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil 1.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
No, it's Daredevil.
Yeah.
Hey, Beckerman, what'd you grab, man? Did you get anything cool?
Yeah, I got some stuff. It's kind of all strewn about, so because I started putting stuff away last night. My haul video in its entirety can be viewed on the Comic Viking. It went live this morning. I've got some art over here.
I'll go check that out here in a little bit.
Skip it.
Yeah, I would.
Skip. Hard pass. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Who did
it's the name is pretty great though, because Alan, is busy right now, and I'm trying to put the channel on my back, but I'm really lazy. So
if you wanted to put a channel on your back, you would have started your own channel years ago.
Right. The name of it is though Beckerman, a HeroesCon retrospective, and then in parentheses, a Hobbit's Holiday to the South.
A Hobbit's Holiday.
So yeah, we got Alan Davis art.
That's
Hey,
really
cool. He drew
I love
Smaug
that.
from The Hobbit.
Yeah, he drew Lockheed from Excalibur.
Oh, it's Lockheed. Okay.
Because you didn't know that. I'm sorry, Mark.
Never
Who's
heard of that
this? What Tolkien character is this?
It's one of the elves, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Elrond.
That's Legolas.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
yeah.
you. See, I don't even
Legolas?
know.
Did you call him Legolas?
You can see part of his bow. Not Legolas, but same thing.
I just
That's
knew that they had.
actually Nightcrawler.
Oh wow.
See, I just knew that they had elves in Lord of the Rings. I couldn't tell you a single one of their names.
Name that 90s character.
Well,
Thunderstrike.
that's Mace Windu.
Yeah, that's definitely Mace Windu.
You can tell because
Yeah,
he's carrying
Mace
a mace.
Windu. Yeah. Fuck all of you. And then that's a robot.
Oh, it's Bender.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing as Bender. Yeah.
Bender, only more expensive. Because it's Scotty Young.
There you go.
Can I ask you a personal question and ask what you paid for that?
That's Samwise Gamgee looking mother trucker.
Was it very expensive?
What do you define as very expensive?
Over 200?
It was over 200.
Over 200.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more than I would pay. Okay.
It was
I'm cheap.
$350, and that's
Wow.
the cheapest you're going to get anything out of Scotty's
That's actually
Ow.
not
book
bad.
these days.
That's
Yeah,
actually
I'm
not
not-
too bad.
I'm not
The
getting
thing
it.
is when I buy
curious
something like
about
that, I say, could I resell it to somebody for that price? And
think you could?
thankfully, I know enough Scotty collectors. Like I know Dustin Whitney would buy that today.
Like has
the
that kind
biggest
of cash
Scotty.
for that piece right now.
Okay, so
a lot of people.
So Dustin runs a fan page for Scotty. Dustin's wall, like a wall bigger than the one behind me,
Oh, so he's
is
like a
filled with
fanatic.
Scotty art. Yeah,
Okay.
he has a good job.
See, that would be a hard flip for me. I don't know people with money like that.
You ever saw a
By
comic book?
pre-drawn. So Scotty doesn't do commissions anymore. He just does art drops. And he doesn't do con sketches. It was pre-drawn, yes, Trev. It was in his portfolio. It was one of the 3 cheapest things in there. He had 3 things for $350. 2 of them were kind of like horror murder stuff that I didn't really like. I've been meaning to pull the trigger on one of Scotty's dailies for a long time, but even his dailies now start at $500. The only reason this was cheap is because he recently found it. It's from 2011.
Yeah, no, I follow
So-
his website. Those sketches
so
go
he-
for a lot of money. I know that.
He put this is his old signature 2011. And then I loved it because when I bought it, they're like, well, everyone who buys art doesn't have to pay for their books to get signed. So he signed my books for free. But it's
really?
like those are
John
only
James
$5 a
Nope.
piece.
John Jang should take note on that.
Well,
That's just you, Rob.
Rob,
The note that needs to be taken is don't brag about money till after the transaction has been set up.
Nobody brag about money.
Nobody bragged about money. I just told him where I lived.
I was bragging about real estate. Now I owned it.
And then I got charged full price.
It was like giving you shit. Man, I'm hope to God that Jang's able to go there next year. It was cool seeing Miko and David Nakayama there and some of the more modern artists.
Screw your Jang. I want to meet my Jang.
We'll go meet him.
Get him to come to HeroesCon.
You should tell him to come to HeroesCon.
No, you're the one that's persuasive. I've watched you beat up dealers. Just get him on the phone and be like, you're coming.
Yeah, I need to hit Philip Kennedy Johnson back up. Now that life, I'm trying to, I would say life is calming down, but work, this is the time of year where work gets crazy. It's always one thing or another when you're at this stage in family life, with work and
I get
your
it.
kids and all that. Like you have like little benchmarks in your head. All right, when I get here, I want to do this. And then you get there, then you're like, oh, no, kind of busy doing
And
this
he's
other-
equally busy, so it's going to be one hell of an interview to set up, but it would be so worth it to me. So you should absolutely do it.
Yeah, I want to. That's pretty much where me and you really got to know each other was from that stream I was on. Like we
Yeah.
knew each other, but getting to do that stream and talk to him was fantastic.
Oh, man, you two were like peas and carrots too, man. I loved it.
Our fandoms really crisscross each other's. It was very
And there
easy.
was that cool moment, like, I know it's just an interview, but when he was looking at the names and he goes, oh, Becker's a friend. I was like, yes,
Mhm.
it's my fucking dude.
Dr. Funny, were you wearing your monocle and top hat again, Rob?
The funny part is I've asked Rob about this. He actually owns a top hat, but it's for steam.
True story.
It's like a steampunk thing, right?
Yeah.
Daredevil NYC.
I saw so last night I went to a musical and I saw a homeless guy. I had to drive through a bad part of KC to get there.
Never heard of that musical.
It was Evil Dead the musical, but
Oh,
on the
okay,
way
so-
there, a group of homeless people were like setting up camp for the night. And one of them had a top hat on. And I was like, oh, he's the leader. If comic books have taught me nothing else, that's the ringmaster right there.
Literally, that could be his name, the Ringmaster.
Yeah,
ring-
it could have been the ringmaster. Yeah. Did he have a little spinny dial, though, is what we need to. DVH, it was... if for the people who like that sort of thing, that was the sort of thing those people like. The sound quality it gave me a really bad headache. And they flashed a lot of lights. That's not good for me.
Sensitive bitches don't really make it too long around here, Esteban. Not in our circle. Gotta have thick skin. Or a good sense of humor means you don't have to have thick skin.
Yeah, one or the other.
Gotta have one or the
Or
other.
both.
And if you have both, you're really ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you're good.
It was not camp. It was their entire life. Shit.
I was reading that's like deep on multiple levels.
On multiple levels. God.
Yeah, the sad part, it was a freaking parking lot too of a CVS pharmacy.
But the musical was good. Cutting back over to there, you said the sound quality, whatever.
I wasn't into it that much. So several of the mainly the one who played Ash's sister, she had a really high-pitched voice, and I know it was the point of the character, but I don't know if it was the speaker quality or the quality of the microphone she had strapped to her head. It just really hurt my brain. And that coupled with the lights, how they kept flashing them, it gave me just a splitting headache. And I don't really get headaches that often. Oh, it was awful.
Thick skin, twisted sense of humor, and no filter. That's actually the actual recipe used to make Scott.
Well, actually, that's what his Tinder profile says. And he's not talking about himself. It's just his penis.
Wow.
I'm stuck on the thick skin part now.
Yeah, you're right. I made myself laugh.
Those are always the best ones. Holy shit. Oh, man. Scotty, where'd you end up finding that giant Groot figure for less than $50?
Second Charles.
Oh,
You-
nice.
Do you have a second Charles down there?
Yeah, we got a good for something Charlie down here.
Yeah, it's every now and then I can find good stuff. Not all the time. It's hit or miss.
Yeah, there was the longest time where like that was just like the spot to hit to find like random cool stuff. And for the past like I don't know about 2 years now, it's just been trash.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of
it's
trash.
going to be base by base kind of thing. It really depends on how good the surrounding area is feeding the store, But
Yep.
it's
But
been
I
kind of
found some
lightweight
good
lately.
stuff. I found some golden. Believe it or not, dude, I swear on anything, I found some really good Golden Age stuff there before.
Rob perked up.
Fine.
Yeah.
Good.
More.
International
Yeah,
Comics.
they got some golden age stuff
International
in
Comics
there.
1 and
Rob
5.
has entered the
I found
chat.
Well, if it's sci-fi stuff, especially.
The one had like a crime cover and the other had a clown on it. It was issue 1 and 5 of International Comics from 1953 or 50, somewhere in there. Darius, what's up, man?
Nothing, just sleeping with this all night. So
Yours is a late
that.
sleeper.
I had to protect that all night. I cuddle
He
with it
looks
all
so
night,
sick.
Do you
Beckerman.
sleep with that now? Do you sleep
Yeah,
with it?
I was cuddling with it all night.
Good morning, Couch and Slouch, and how are you doing today? Yours, what's happening, man?
Nothing. What's up? What's up?
Oh, I got room here.
Just getting ready for my comic shop. He got 50,000 comics from Milwaukee, and he's letting me in an hour early before the general public, and he hasn't even picked through it or anything, and every book's going to be $2 tomorrow.
Sweet.
So
Oh, he's picked through it if he's just already.
He's
Yeah,
out of
I was
town.
gonna say,
He's
how
out of
did you
town.
price it?
He's out of town.
He knows
He's out
what's not in it.
He's at a con, so he announced it on his Facebook. He hasn't got to touch it. He hasn't got to look through it. He's at a
Somebody
con.
looked through it.
Yo,
Mate-
I'm telling you now, that's a way to get
And-
people excited.
Oh, for sure. And I'm excited because the people that look through it are the two girls that know nothing about comics that just kind of handle sales.
So you're telling me,
Look at Rob. We've been here. We've all been
yeah.
here.
I've
I mean, he's shown a couple
gotten
books
candy
that
in
are.
this windowless van
eBay is
before.
littered with lot sales and mystery box
Mhm.
sales where I've got all these books that I've never even gone through. There's chance of all these great, who knows what you're going to get, great stuff, but it's all. But still, at $2 a pop, you're still
Right.
likely to
There's
find.
there's
you're
Spawn
still-
number
look,
ones.
somebody
There
could have
was
gone
there
through
was
there
crate. There was.
quickly and cherry picked
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
obvious big hits, but there's always going to be in there stuff that gets missed in the tertiary glance or the
I'm
most
going for
pulled
the
out
Spawn number
that was
ones.
done.
There was like 5 or 10 of them he showed in the picture, and I'm buying all those.
So you're just making the announcement here for the next year straight. His giveaways will include only Spawn number
On
one.
ones.
I mean, I'd be happy to get a Spawn one. It's like a $50 book right now.
Is it really?
It's like 30 or 50 right now.
Damn, I thought that
Not
was a
40
$20
there.
book.
Only if you can find the right sucker.
Hmm.
You
I
can
bet
tell.
it-
Oh, it's got the rare extra color splotch.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Extra $10 it adds.
I've never even checked any of mine.
That I thought he was launching into a Todd impression right there. It's Spawny.
It'd have to be the Todd from the Spawn show when he did his little skits in before. That's the Todd impressions I want.
Kids like chains.
They do though. He wasn't wrong.
He was not.
Trev has a Spawn one for your 1K, Durs.
Hey, I have a box from him that I'm not going to be able to open until next week, so it's been sitting here.
You can open it right now, Durs.
I gotta film it, bro. I gotta film it.
Tell your LCS owner you'll help him out. You'll give him.
Mark's filming it right now. You're
Yeah,
fine.
you have permission to clip this.
You'll give him 25,000 for his 50,000 books.
I don't know. He was showing a bunch of books in his live yesterday, and like I said, for $2, I'm happy to dig through them. And he's gonna let me in early to film and stuff. So
Can't
That would be fun to go through them.
It's late. It's 8:42.
I think he's asking what time is the shop opening. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
What shop do you go to, Durs?
So I shop at the Pop Shop. Shout out to the Pop Shop, Sandusky, Ohio. That's my main LCS. But in Fremont, Ohio, there's Rupp's Comics. Chris Rupp, he's an amazing guy. But the problem with this shop is it's very, very small. So almost all his books are down in the warehouse. So what you have to do is you have to be like, hey, I have a list. I want this book, this book, this book. They're going to go down, dig
But which
for
shop has the 50,000 comics?
Rupp's Comics. I'm sorry. I was just explaining that.
This
Yeah,
shop
they have-
fit him, Rob.
Well, sometimes I feel bad. They'll go down and dig books for a while, and then they'll bring them up, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is $100." I'll be like, "Dude, it's $20 all day on eBay." Like, I'm not paying those prices. And now I felt bad that they just went down and dug in the back
Yeah,
front
you're not
warehouse.
just paying
That's how
for
they-
the book, you're paying for the.
They just don't have enough space.
the
I wish they
video.
would get a bigger space.
Look at aggressively relaxing.
I wrote a musical called Comic-Con Line the Musical. I mean, I told you it'd be a very long wait. Now you told me this would be like a date. I'm in the front of the line and it feels so good.
Shouldn't it be in front of the line? It feels
I
so
love
fine.
it.
The
That's
lines
great.
were too long. The only long wait I had was Daniel Warren Johnson, but I
Sure,
lined up
Rain.
I lined up an hour before he opened. So
I didn't
Yeah,
even
it's
realize
smart.
Mark was in a Steranko line that long. I thought he
I
was
think-
just hanging out on that part
he
of
was
it.
he was there
No,
for
I
a
thought
while.
the-
Every time I
thought the
passed
Becker-
him.
I was never not in the front of the line. I was in the
Yeah,
front.
Right, you were
every
always
time I saw
towards
you.
the front.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
it's
got
great.
there in the front of the line, and then I talked to Becker and stuff, and an hour goes by, and he calls me, "Hey, where you at?" I said, "Hey, turn around and look where you last saw me." He turned around, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Like one
What's
step
great
ahead.
is like I think I saw.
And you
like,
didn't move.
No, the
That was
cos-
like-
they let kind of cosplayers cut in line.
I thought I saw that it was not the same kind of line build-up on the other days. It was just Friday that it was really bad.
Yeah, and it wasn't a matter of like he always had people in his line. It was a matter of how talkative he was being with with the people in the line. And he tells and God love him, he tells the same stories. You know, if you go through his line one time, you've heard all of his stories because whoever he's signing for, he's talking and telling these stories, but he's talking to the line like he's a performer. You know, like the man is a showman, and so like it's a whole experience. Like you're not just in the line being ignored, you know, but like, yo, man, like by the time I got to the front, I didn't stay for story time. Thank you. Time to go.
Snatch the book from him and be like, "I'm done listening to you, old man." Leave.
Don't you have some meddling kids to go mess with?
Probably till next year, Brian, when we light a new candle for
That's what I was
2024.
thinking.
Yeah, so you light the next
Forever.
one. I've been campaigning for HeroesCon since y'all have known me. This is just the first year everyone else went.
Yeah, it was an inside joke for Mark and I. And it just
How-
reflects what an awful person Mark is.
So before like everybody came this year, because Mark, you go every year. How many like members of the community, or like was it just like you and Pops normally go in, or
Like last year was the first like community time.
okay,
Like knowing anyone.
gotcha.
He hadn't been in a while before that. The last year was like Digger Jim, Brother John.
Yeah, that was
Chip
last
Blair,
year was your first time in years, right? That's what
Yeah.
Pops was saying.
Yeah, first time in years. Big Lion Cat, There was
Nice.
people there, but like we hadn't spent like this time that we've spent together like this. You know what I mean? Like next year will be the one where everyone knows, no matter where it is, it's the conference.
Now you know you need to go to Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm going to make
matter-
every effort to go. I don't know if I will. It kind of depends on what the tour looks like, because I love Heroes, but they have the same creator lineup as Planet, and I'm hunting some very specific names at this point.
Yeah, if you unless you're like trying just to do like Becker is and hit very specific names, and you've been conning and doing this for decades, so it becomes troublesome trying to find these people where they're at, kind of thing.
That was my
If you're
problem at
trying to
this
go to
con
a
is
con and hunt books and hang out with friends. There's not a better one to go to than this.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm down to
this is-
go where everybody goes.
It's easier for some people in some places than others, and life is going to happen for a handful of people that were there this year. By come next year, who knows what will happen for certain people, including myself. You never know. But this is one of those don't miss cons. Like if you do cons, this is one of those don't miss cons, regardless of if it's the massive community get together or not.
It was my first con, and I will 100% agree. The first like half hour, I was so overwhelmed and didn't really know what to do. But then once I said, don't even regard the books, don't even think about the books or anything, just stick to my plan, get the signatures and stuff. And then once I got the layout, it was fine. It was so open, it was so well set up. It was amazing experience for my first con. So like I said, 100% recommend.
Yeah,
Good
it's all
morning,
downhill
Austin.
from there.
there's another guy I gotta meet. Love this dude, Austin LeMay.
Yeah,
But one thing I'll say is somebody that's been to a ton of cons. This is a throwback. You don't see these cons anymore. This is a dinosaur.
Point. Like this is the last bastion of a real comic convention.
Well,
Still a real comic
I would
convention
argue
is
that there's
madness.
others like it, but
Not on this scale.
Yeah, that's why I just said it's the last bastion of a real Comic Con to this magnitude.
yes.
Are you talking about
I
just like
agree
with
with
the,
that.
with the books and vendors
Yeah,
wise?
Comic-Con, like cons, I don't even want to call them Comic Cons. Cons have
Mhm.
become so franchised,
Like
and so
culture
popular.
hit
They're
and everything.
bullshit. They're
I would
absolute-
say I would give them credit though in the same talks of the other independent cons left. Baltimore, Terrificon, Planet, Heroes. These are the guys still doing it the old way. I really want to check out Baltimore before, I don't know. I'm worried that a lot of these old cons are eventually going to have no choice but to sell. And that's a real threat because it's hard to do these. It's very expensive to get them. And that's, I mean, think about it. 20 years ago, there was 40 cons and they were almost all independently owned. And now there's 4 left.
Just the work, just to get all the vendors.
WonderCon.
And artists.
I forgot about WonderCon. How
So
far
what
is
Becker is
WonderCon
saying-
from you?
What Becker is saying is make sure everyone starts planning now, putting those $20 bills every paycheck away into a drawer.
That's what I'm
Physically
doing.
Putting money away into a drawer, and don't miss HeroesCon next year because it could be the last.
How far is
Talking about
WonderCon from you, Rob?
Where's WonderCon?
WonderCon's super.
California.
WonderCon's a super
Where-
heavy
where-
Funko Con now, by the way.
Where in California? It's Southern California, I
I don't
assume.
know.
It's probably like in frickin'
It's a lot of Funko stuff and cosplay. Whenever I see anybody go,
That could just be what they're doing, though.
right, just the walk.
Oh,
Oh,
it's,
it's in
Anaheim.
Anaheim. So it's about
Anaheim.
400 miles south of me.
Yeah, never
It
mind.
it looks like a good con. though.
It's a place that if everyone really wanted to go there, hey, I could drive there. I could be there. But I mean, it's like a
Distance. I'll fly at like if everybody's going, I'm going where everybody goes. That's where I want to go. If everybody has a community, hey, we want to go back to Heroes, awesome. Hey, we want to fly out to Cali, I'll make it happen. I'm already saving for it. So
there's
like,
no way that I get the entire community. Coming.
right? I know. I'm just saying wherever
unreal.
wherever
It's
the
not for a con, it's for
Right.
Rob's. I'm not saying this jokingly. I'm just
oh
coming
for the
out here to
barbecue,
hang out.
facts,
Yeah, with Rob.
facts, bro.
All that money that would
Please.
be spent on the hotel, this
Mhm.
and that, I would just save. Not
For
even
the
have to spend it and just
Mhm.
go.
Go buy this meat and cook it for me, sir.
For the people saying Planet Con, that'll definitely be my number 2 con next year. I'll always
Where's that
go to
at?
Planet because it's local.
Kansas City. Okay.
Yeah, that was one.
The Midwest people are all kind of saying that because it's easier for them to get.
I was just giving shit to because everybody was like, "Oh my God, why won't Durst goes to Kansas City?" I'm like, "Bro, I'll go to Kansas City. I'm just gonna wear my Eagles jersey and have a shitty time the whole time."
And I will leave you in a bad mood.
I think everybody who wants to attend PlanetCon should definitely do that. And also, you need to try to make arrangements to go to Heroes. If it works out, it does. If not, oh well.
Isn't PlanetCon, wasn't that like a month before Heroes? Was that right, Becker, or was it 2 months ago?
Mike Allred. Sorry, I'm just kidding. What
no,
was
you're
that
fine.
now?
Was it a month or 2 months before Heroes? Because you and Marcus went.
Planet's next year. Planet will be 4 months before Heroes. 3 months. It's in the beginning of March next year.
Gotcha. That's close.
March 8th, 9th, and 10th.
That date gave Rob heartburn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one may not work for me.
Yeah, it won't work for me. I'm gearing up for Masters at that point.
Yeah. When is the Masters?
First week of April.
Is it always the first week of April?
Yeah, it's the first. It's not like a date. It's just the first full week of April.
Yeah, I'm surprised cons are starting earlier and earlier. I was looking over the schedule for
They're
next
trying
year.
to get off each other's coattails, and
They
on
just go year-round.
they're landing on
Yeah.
someone on other coattails.
I know this isn't like a super comic like con or anything, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to GalaxyCon this year. It's in, I think it's in Columbus or Cincinnati. And,
That's another corporate con.
Is it? Yeah. But it's only like
there's
2 or
a
3.
tour of them.
Is it?
One
Just
of
to check it
and
out.
I'm not trying to dissuade you. One of the worst cons
No,
I
I know.
ever went to
I know it's not
was a
comic
Galaxy
related.
Con.
Was it? I think
It was
I would
awful.
just literally just go for signatures because they have like Star Wars actors and stuff like that, and like voice actors and anime actors, and those are some of the people I would want to go after.
Here, I'm going to enrage Mark for a second. They were incredibly disrespectful to Dan Jurgens.
Really?
They stuck him in a corner by himself, and when he
Caroline,
You
good
know,
morning.
when he said, "Hey, I would like a better placement," they said, "We don't really care about comic book creators. We're more about
Wow.
the famous people, the celebrity alley." They disrespected Dan Jurgens, Mark. How
That's
do you feel
shitty.
about that?
I'm just going
He's
to keep
mad.
campaigning for Heroes where they don't disrespect the true talent.
Yeah, shout out to the staff at Heroes. They
They're
were
great.
they were great. Not the security guards or anything like that, but the core like staff at Heroes. They were great.
I talked to that. Is Sheldon the guy who owns it, or does he just run it?
Both Heroes aren't hard to find and puts on HeroesCon.
Okay. He was a really nice guy. I talked to him a little bit Thursday night or Thursday afternoon. I liked him.
I'm just
Scotty,
sad.
what are some cons you've hit at this point?
Do what?
What are some cons that you've hit at this point? Like how Durs went to his first one at Heroes.
I went to one. I've never been to one as a collector. I went to one years back with some cosplayers, but I've never been to one as a collector.
Was it Dragon Con? And good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dragon Con is like.
but I wasn't a
built
collector. I
around-
wasn't collecting anything. Like I was.
He was just there for the orgy,
Yeah,
Mark.
okay, they
Dude, I
collect
wasn't there for
Dragon
shit,
Con.
man. I was an active drug addict. I took a bunch of drugs and was fucked up the whole time.
Sounds like
honestly
Dragon
not true.
Con. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my-
sounds like Dragon.
That's
Now,
my
for
dude,
those-
Big
for those
Dubs.
that
That's
don't know,
his
Dragon
favorite
Con
con.
held in Atlanta, and it's been built up around like the cosplay
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans, and it's
Yeah.
like
That's why he loves it. His daughter.
gets thrown down. He
Yeah,
loves it
dude.
for his daughter. Wait, what?
His daughter cosplays heavily. Dragon Con's hands down his Big Dub's favorite con.
I wish that I
loves it.
collected one. I wish that I was a collector when I went, but I wasn't collecting anything at the time.
It's great for anime
I
and
went to
stuff like
Dragon
that.
Con last year, and I'll never go back again.
Oh yeah, Mark, not your scene at all.
I went to the kids like
Mhm.
brave the traffic in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Stomach sitting with bullshit layout and line on the multi-venue setup, and beelined it straight to Jang. Talked to Southern Comic Geek, who was on that floor as well, and then got the fuck out of there.
I can imagine you hating it there.
Just
I had a blast.
scoffing at everyone and everything. Is
Mm-hmm.
I heard a
Wow.
great
Yeah,
story about Dragon Con from Howard Chaykin. You told me this at Heroes.
Can't even imagine.
He so after X amount of years, he finally got his wife to join him for a con, and it just so happened it was Dragon Con, and they had finished up working at his booth all day, you know, signing autographs and whatnot, and they were going out to dinner, and they hear this like thundering march coming towards them, and as they turn the corner, there's like 60 Wookiees carrying gigantic dildos as rifles.
Oh my god!
And they're saying "oh, oh." Well, anyway, his wife looks at him and she goes, "And this is how you choose to spend your time all year." And
Now-
he was like, "I didn't know how to defend it."
Now she's always going to shame him when he goes into his comic or collecting.
Right.
Hey, someone
Poor
mentioned
Jacob.
that Fanboy Expo in Knoxville. Has anybody ever been to that Fanboy Expo?
I've not.
Becker?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of
I'm
Fan
aware
Expo.
of it. Isn't it in like
Knoxville.
Louisville or Knoxville?
Yeah.
Is it Fan Expo or Fanboy Expo?
It's
hold on, let me-
Fanboy Expo.
Okay.
Fanboy
One year
Expo.
they held it in a in like a decrepit mall.
Dude, that would be
Because I saw
smart.
pictures from it. I
There's
saw
so many
pictures.
malls around.
Yeah, there
the
was an
United States.
abandoned mall and they
Yeah,
held
dude.
it there. That's
be super
smart,
smart.
like you said.
Have
Except for the
each
aesthetic.
store have like this storefront be nothing but like comics or whatever, and then you go into another storefront and the whole storefront's vendors of like toys and shit. That'd be cool. Especially in Ohio, man. There's
I
plenty
really
of malls
like
to
the
use.
people who run NYCC Esteban, but I'm kind of done with corporate cons. I'm really trying to get away from them and support more organizations like Heroes.
I would only go for
And
McFarlane.
they're, like the corporate cons can be fun, but it's just my thing is like I'm not going to like fight. This is an actual fight for me to find time to be able to pull stuff off. Like it is incredibly not easy.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to do
I
that to
understand.
go somewhere I know that we're all leaving going, it was the people were great, the con was okay. Like, no, I'm not
Right.
doing that. I'm just
Agreed.
makes 0 sense for my situation. It makes less.
I would
than
go to New York Comic Con, like I said, only for a McFarlane signature, and then just to sit in on like the movie, the Marvel premiere, or like the game premiere, or whatever. If there's going to be
The
one.
downfall
that would be it.
That'd be
of
fun.
corporate cons is they do have exclusive deals. Like there's just some like you won't see any of comic sketch art. It's a rep company named Comic Sketch Art, and you won't see any of their clients at Heroes, and you won't see them at Planet because they have an exclusive deal with the corporate cons.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
I'm completely okay with that though, because in my mind, nowhere in my collecting in my fandom do I have a desire and bug or this thought that I'm going to be able to meet everybody and anybody kind of thing. I'm cool with the ones that I do. Maybe one day with the ones that I don't. It's not an issue for
I
me.
felt honored and privileged just to meet all the dudes I did at Heroes, man. It was surreal.
And you didn't even meet
Yeah.
half the people there.
Right.
probably.
Agreed. 100%. I talked to as many indie artists. I was talking to Amy Cho for like 25 minutes. I didn't even get a signature with her. I was just talking to her and stuff
I
about
think
comics
this was
and stuff like that.
Shooters. I think this was Shooter's first year there as well.
I talked to him. He went to the bathroom, and there was like 2 people in line. They left, and I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have anything to do, so I just hung out. He's like, "You cool if I go to the bathroom?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Go right ahead. I'll just
You
hang
want me to
out."
come
Where's this going, Durs?
Want me to come with?
Whatever, man. You need
I'll
me to
hold it
help
for you.
Yeah, I'll help you, man. But I stood there and talked to him for like 45 minutes, a half hour.
Kid?
Yeah, he
And
was
this
awesome, man.
This was first time Shooter being with 4C there. I don't know if it was his first time there, but that's
So-
another point. You never know who's going to be with who or be there next year. You do have some
The
staples
rep,
that
is that what you mean?
Yeah, 4C was
Okay.
his the company that represents him.
Yes, but they weren't affiliated for that show because he's in the process of going to 4C. That's why his table was near them, but not part of them.
Wasn't part of theirs.
Right.
Yeah,
Take it more than
he-
twice. You're playing
he
with
was
it.
cool. Tom DeFalco was a hoot as well, man.
Oh, I love Tom DeFalco.
Yeah, dude. Every
And
time I
that's
talk
why
to
I
him,
appreciated this con because Ron Frentz does not leave the East Coast. So That was a first for me. I've never gotten Ron Frenz signed anywhere. That's why I had so much stuff for him.
Do you have Daniel Warren Johnson stuff?
Yeah.
Nice. I know you're.
I got a ton of his books signed. So I got all the Ghost Fleet books signed at last summer's C2E2. And I also got all my Murder Falcon first prints signed.
I got an awesome book signed
because I've been on DWJ since Ghost Fleet. Like Special Forces Truckers, you bet your ass I was into that story.
You can't don't forget about Jurassic League, man. That was fire as well.
That was way later though. But
I know. I didn't get on Daniel Warren Johnson until like
also not Daniel Warren Johnson.
He wrote that.
It's just the covers.
He did not. He didn't write it. He didn't do the interiors on it. That's Juan Gedeon's book, and they used Daniel Warren Johnson. They used Daniel Warren Johnson for covers and name recognition for sales purposes, and they used Daniel Warren Johnson as a reference point for Juan if he needed it because it was his first work, really.
Because and the interior said Daniel Warren Johnson, creator, writer, blah blah blah.
Carry the title on his own. So.
Yeah, because I was mad. I was mad. I just sold all my Jurassic League books, and Daniel Warren Johnson was there, and Juan was there. I was talking to Juan for like 20 minutes too.
Since I found out about Daniel Warren Johnson with Murder Falcon, like with any Daniel Warren Johnson person who reads his stuff, you become an instant cheerleader for the guy. He's amazing. Like
really cool.
There's a lot of us, and still not enough of us. But I as soon as they announced that book, I was all over it. And if you watch the Out Week's End show, like when that issue 1 came out, I'm like, wait a minute, like something's off here. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was goofy and all that stuff, but it immediately didn't roll like a Daniel Warren Johnson book. So I had to look into it.
I'm the same way. Just anything he writes or touches forever, I'm going to forever read.
I love that Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, it was great. And to be honest with you, that's his weakest piece of work that he's done, and it's still
great.
Yeah, it was still fantastic. I think that one that gets often overlooked because of its format is Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I would put that in
Dead Earth was good.
It is only 4 issues, but it's the Prestige format black label. He wrote and did the.
I like black label stuff.
I think they had Mike Spicer on there.
Me too.
But it was amazing. Space Mullet is a good one.
I've heard of that book.
It feels unfinished, not the book itself, but the story. Like we need another volume of it. It can go a lot deeper into that.
Issue 4 of Ghost Fleet, I'm very partial to.
You for sure, Coco.
There's a really good letter in the back, if you know what I mean.
Anything for you, Shooter Daddy.
Esteban did not like Dead Earth.
Really? Was it the art style? Because I know some people get turned off on the DWJ art. It literally splits the readers.
For me,
some people.
Points.
Did you say his art?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
It's not for everybody. I have a friend that's just convinced Daniel Warren Johnson shouldn't draw anything. I disagree, but it's all subjective. I'm not gonna.
I seen that. And
everybody's
I was like,
mileage. Everybody's mileage varies.
I love just different styles and
look at that
taste.
Now you gotta go big when you're showing a piece of history.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Go big, Mark.
If you want to see a piece of history, tune into last Wednesday's video.
Okay.
No, I think it's not always necessarily like because his art is kind of cartoony, intentional. That's his style, and that doesn't always draw to me. But the way that he does perspective, motion, and the way that like his vision of a page, like it's like he has the whole page in his head before he starts the first panel, and the way that it just all comes together like butt cheeks is just amazing.
I'm excited to be able to get on a Transformer run from the very start for the first time.
Yeah, so I started collecting. I decided to start collecting Transformers the week before HeroesCon. I went to Joe. I saw the movie. I'm a very vocal fan and defender of the Michael Bay verse stuff with Transformers. I just love the Transformers movies. Like, I grew up watching some. I grew up with Beast Wars because of my age and everything.
I grew up playing with the toys.
Yeah, I had a few of the toys. Like Pops and my mom got me like the Optimus Primal for Christmas one year and stuff like that. But I was still always a superhero kid. And when we went and saw Rise of the Beast, this is the first movie that I had my kids in the theater with me for. Hold on, Rob, I'm moving you. And I've just been on cloud 9 ever since.
That's fire too.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
It's a beautiful.
It's fire.
And it's metal.
Mm-hmm.
Can you smack it so that we can verify it's metal? It is metal. Rob's going to be giving that away today if you'll just put hashtag Optimus.
Yeah.
But yeah, after having seen the new movie, I've just been on cloud 9, and that following Friday evening, we went to the Joe Fest Augusta Toy and Comic Show for a couple hours with the kids, and I told Pops I want a Transformers 1. Like I want one. I want to start diving into the comics. I just want more. Like it got to the point where the movies aren't long enough. They don't come out quick enough. I want more Transformers content. So I decided to start collecting the comics, and then 3 days later, they announced Daniel Warren Johnson's taking it over. I'm like, that's it. Meant to be.
Yeah. I've always collected some of the older comics, but I've never gotten to get on one of the runs from the beginning. So I'm excited now.
So I want to respond to C. Bizzle earlier because he had asked a question, and yes,
I have
Scotty Young was there too.
He almost
So yes,
Scotty Young.
DWJ and Scotty Young.
Scotty Young
Shout out
signed just under 4,000 signatures, is what
I saw that. That's crazy.
He featured,
And that only
me
counts the ones they paid for.
right. He featured
That's not
me,
even the
me and
ones.
Roscoe on his Instagram story too.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Great dude. Love that dude to death.
Yeah, we had a good conversation before the con opened.
I got to share a private elevator with him.
Was this before or after the bathroom with Shooter?
This was before, so I was a little spent after taking care of Scotty in the elevator.
When you were in the private elevator, were you going down?
We were actually going up. I wish I could have been going down.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how he's going to give a robot daddy issues and cancer. That's kind of weird. Like, didn't they all lose their home world, their best friend? Like this is a layup for Daniel Warren Johnson. All the heavy lifting,
I can't
all
wait.
the heavy
to see where it
lifting's
goes.
done.
Or energon
fun.
cancer. There you go.
The first issue was fun.
Yeah, there you go. And Transformers, that would actually be pretty easy. Oh no, I'm rusting.
Well, you kind of see there's stuff in lost about standing, but
I dug through Transformers bins for like 20
Here
minutes
we
at the
go.
con,
It's
and they
getting
were
weird.
super pick through.
to answer Coco's question about what that
Weird
was,
Jam, what's up?
that
man?
was a Transformers exclusive.
Are you wearing your own shirt?
What is it, Rob?
Yeah,
Which one is it?
It was an exclusive for Fan
This is
Expo
actually
that was a metal version signed by your Optimus Prime and Megatron voices there.
Oh wow.
There's a
Peter
limited
Parker.
200.
Who's the voice for Megatron.
Yeah, let
If
me
we
hear it,
don't
Rob.
know,
Frank Welker.
Dr. Von Hoot will.
Frank Welker.
Also, Cliff Jumper's 100% on the clock. Yeah, he's on the shot clock. It's just counting down until he gets killed. Cliff Jumper seems just to be Transformers cannon fodder. He's the red shirt of the Okay, if y'all saw Bumblebee in the movie, the newest movie Bumblebee, like when the bad guys were coming to Earth to track him down, there's like just a scene where they're like standing on Saturn, like torturing and then viciously killing a character. That was Cliff Jumper that they did that to.
Poor Cliff Jumper.
Could be worse. Could be Beachcomber.
Well, this is for Lady Fantastic then. Lady Fantastic says Transformers do nothing for me. But G.I. Joe and Transformer comics were always popular with my buddies. So I was trying to think of something to get at Heroes because I really didn't have a hit list. I'm like, well, if I got my Transformers one, I need a G.I. Joe one to pair with it. So I grabbed G.I. Joe number
That's
one.
awesome. Pick up.
Did y'all see
I feel like I expected you to go sillier at Heroes. Like I expected you to get like a big haul.
I talk to you every day. I'm just not like in the buying mood.
I know.
Yeah.
But I lie to myself all the time. I said I'm going to Heroes and I'm going to barely pick up any art.
But I think for not being in a buying mood, I picked up some stuff, I picked up
you did fine.
I did know that if I saw like the right Hulk book for the right price, I would get it. And I didn't even have to work for it. I just walked. Oh shit, there's one right there. And it was at the right price. I didn't even have to have it. amazing.
A lot of stuff at the
figured
right
with,
price there.
With Image getting the rights and kicking off the Energon universe
Bam.
with Transformers and Joe, like I'm gonna grab some Joe stuff because again, I'm one of those sick, twisted people that like the movies.
I love the Transformer movies, man. I'll defend Michael Bay with you to the death of me.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was on. I went
Does
to
he need
HeroesCon.
defending?
No, he doesn't. I was on a budget for HeroesCon and literally did 100% of my goals plus a few extra. So
I did not finish the movie because I'm kind of weird. Like, so when I found out the movie is like kind of like the finale to season 1 and 2 of the show, like I'm like, well, I can't watch the movie until I watch the show. You gotta watch the show. And we've been watching a lot of Beast Wars in the house here lately.
Beast Wars was huge for my
You all know
childhood.
that like every Transformers show that's ever existed is on YouTube playing on a 24-hour loop. You can also watch them all individually.
G.I. Joe too.
And it's like on the official YouTube page for these people. It's not like they just have it out there running it all the time. That's why these movies don't have to like be blockbuster smashes. They're literally paying for a commercial to air in theaters, and the toys just carry this company.
Esteban hates the Transformers too.
Yeah, I like the Transformers movie better than I did the Flash. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I did too. I said that like right off the rip. The Transformers movie has been my favorite one that I've watched this summer so far.
When I left the Transformers, I was like, I could see that again. I might actually pay money to see it again in the theater. I did not say that. When John and I left, I was like, it was good. It was good as far as like the.
It was entertaining.
I thought it was. I think some of the colors were really incredible, and that's. I know that sounds very basic, but
yes, it does.
I just that it, you know.
I think I need to.
Some of the other stuff in it, the CGI in it was kind of
I think I need to give Flash a second chance because I had a 9-hour drive and just got to the hotel and meeting everybody, and then going to the movies. I was so burnt out that it was hard to even feel excited. Like I was excited, but I was also like my girlfriend passed out like 20 minutes into the movie.
Sure. I mean, you weren't in the right mindset to see it then.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, just the CGI was my only.
It wasn't an awful film.
Still fun.
It wasn't the worst superhero movie that's come out in the last couple of years. But it wasn't by any stretch of the imagination a great piece of cinematic experience either. It was fine.
Hey, Scotty.
You know? I'm more excited to see this.
But,
I have no Blue Beetle. I know nothing about Blue Beetle, but after seeing the trailer, I was like, this kind of looks good. And he busts out the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy at the end. So I was like, all right, bro, sold.
Just having I'm
CGI looked good in it, man.
What's his name in there? The comedian.
George
Lopez.
Yeah.
Batman's a fascist. I mean, come on. That was like, this is going to be awesome.
By the way, Jim, my girlfriend said thank you for the earrings again.
Oh, yeah. No,
Kyle liked them a lot as well. She wore them to work already.
Oh, wow. I'll let Sarah know.
I didn't get any earrings. What's up with that?
You would have got it would have been a belly button ring.
Rob said he's more BG FN on Flash.
BG plus fine minus.
Yeah, that's actually where I would put it too.
At least it's not an NG.
Coverless.
The hype for it and everything was outrageous.
Oh yeah,
this movie was filmed so long ago. Like the company that owns this film has changed hands. They have different goals now, and this was made before the gun announcement and everything. So I don't think this movie was ever going to be what we, the fans that follow this stuff close, were expecting at this point, or what it needed to be at this point.
Right.
The bright side is we're now getting a Nicolas Cage comic cover. So
yeah, for World's
plus. Yeah, so that is a plus from the movie.
What?
Let me ask you: do you ever think they'll release the Batgirl?
No, not if they want to keep not if they want to keep their money. They won't.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see it.
Same.
Just
$90 million.
Yeah, that's insane.
Batgirl.
It's insane.
So they didn't lose the money. They got that money back by not releasing it.
How's that work?
It was a tax write-off. When the companies merged, anything that was in production under the old guard, they could get a tax write-off back from it as long as they scrap it completely.
And don't release it. Okay,
So
that makes sense.
it's one of those things where it's important that we give these corporations large tax cuts like this and stuff, rather than take care of people that pay the taxes.
Well,
you know.
Facts.
Don't go down that
There it
rabbit hole
is.
with me.
There it is,
with
Scotty.
me.
So there's the Nick Cage Superman cover that'll be coming
That's
for World's
hilarious.
Finest. It's really dope because he's got
Mhm.
the shield
Oh
on his
my
chest
God.
with the N, and then his belt buckle has the C. So he has his
Mhm.
initials repping on his suit.
That's ridiculous, and I
Gonna
love it.
that.
And that's gonna sell, bro. People are gonna eat that up.
People
Yeah, I've
are
already
gonna buy
ordered
it.
it.
Yeah, same. I did too.
Hard
ordered-
pass.
I ordered that Spider-Man that I missed, the Negative Space Miles one, and the
I'm-
Blade.
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna get hate
It
for
was
this. That negative space one is one hands down one of the worst ones I've seen. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is about
Is it
dude.
this one?
Miles looks terrible on it. I can.
Well, it's not a Miles book.
Mhm.
No, it's not.
He look
It's
his head,
ultimate-
dude, just
It's
kills
the
me.
Ultimate
Yo,
Invasion
Scotty,
book.
in all seriousness,
Okay.
what's up with this artist in arms? Hold that back up. Because we looked at that Blade cover, and Blade's right arm looked cattywampus. Now, Miles'
let's
right
look at the-
arm.
We'll look at another one.
I like the Blade ones. I think
This
was
artist
pretty
has a
cool.
problem with arm perspective.
I got that one as well. That one's dope.
Yeah, this
Well,
one
he's got
looks really
arms.
good.
One arm's coming towards you, and one's coming backward.
Yeah.
It's
And
like he's
the,
swimming.
the one for AMS they haven't shown yet.
He's
so
doing
it's-
the crawl.
It's up
you
in
know.
the air. So we don't know what the I pre-ordered one blindly. I pre-ordered the one for Blade 1, and then I pre-ordered the AMS 31 blindly. We don't know what
That
it's gonna
one
look
was
like.
the one, baby. Yeah.
No, on fire. Scotty, you're into spec. Make sure you get that spoiler for
Yeah.
Venom. Get that Venom boy.
Brian
Sex
Hitch.
appeal.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I had to grab it. There was one in my shop, and I snatched it up.
Apparently, I had already pre-ordered it because it was in my pull box.
I enjoyed it as a read too. It was. I like the maker though. I think he's a cool character.
Was that first issue good? Because I missed the entire. I wasn't reading comics when
It
Ultimate
was good,
Invasion
man.
came
It
out,
was.
and I'm super excited to be able to read into that universe more.
I think most people would say Incredible Hulk one was the read of the week. I liked Ultimate Invasion slightly better, but I like both of them.
Ugh.
I give Godzilla my read of the week. That was actually ridiculously good. It's
I
Is
do
actually
that the new number one?
I do
Yeah,
think
it's weird how
Philip
good
Kennedy
Godzilla
Johnson did
was.
great
Mhm.
for the first.
This is
issue.
the only thing I've read so far. I have my set to read, but this is the only thing that I've read so far. I just thought
What
it was
about-
neat.
What about Black Panther? Nobody's talking about Black Panther.
This is Black Panther. I haven't read it. I heard
I
it
would
wasn't-
like to go back to Scotty saying your read of the week was Ultimate Invasion because I actually read it online
Okay.
just
It was good.
to confirm my suspicions. It was good to avoid.
Don't say that, Mike. I'm excited.
It was
for it.
terrible.
Really?
It was
Uh-oh.
freaking terrible.
It was
We
a
have a
good
mic
setup
I need to hear more of why you think it was good.
because I want to see where the maker is going. I want to see why he's
You want to
traveling
see?
around.
He went to
getting all these
Miles and was
items.
like, "Hey, want to go home?" Like
Yeah, I know.
evil Reed Richards. Just oh my god!
How could you not want to see where he's going with this? He's going
Ugh.
around grabbing all these items, and you know
Because
it's
I've
for a
seen
devious
where he's
person.
going, and it sucks. This is all just taking us back to 2015 Secret Wars, which was terrible, steaming pile of mediocrity.
I've just read it like 2 weeks ago, and I thought
I
it
have a little
was
more-
so fun. Why don't you like the Secret War that run? It was so fun.
my God.
It was
I have a little
the-
more.
it was
faith
so
in
fun,
the
dude.
writer.
Loved the artwork, loved the action in it. It was action packed the whole time. I loved
Get me off being big, Mark.
it. I'm just
I
curious
think
why
we're
you
going-
didn't like
I
that
think
run.
we're going somewhere fun. I think we're gonna go somewhere fun with Ultimate Invasion. I think it's gonna be interesting.
I don't
wanna
have
see what
enough
the
to
makers
talk
put
about
together.
the Ultimate Universe too. I'm just excited to be able
So we're
to just dig into it more.
revisiting the magnus opus of Jonathan Hickman.
But I want to read.
Guys, I know where you're going.
I'm
and
ready
it's
for
not
that.
going to be fun. So make
My
the best of it. I
this is
hope
my
your
read of the
optimism
week.
carries you through.
Hands down, this is what I'm reading.
thought it was orange.
Yeah, and I got my window open. My cat wanted it in the window, so
How
Helps
did
with the
you feel
light.
about Hulk, Beckerman? You like Hulk, right?
I loved Hulk.
Okay. Well, at
My
least
read of the week might be Tales of Suspense.
Tales of Suspense. I didn't read it.
Yeah, it was by Image. It was really good.
Horror, right?
It made me laugh. Yeah, it's an anthology, 2 different stories, about 12
it-
pages each.
Is
But
it
is
like
it
the EC
horror?
style horror, like the old style horror?
I wouldn't call it horror.
Okay.
Now, Hulk, are you asking if Hulk was horror? Because that was
No,
a horror
definitely.
with a capital H.
Yeah, it's going down that path. So
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I like how it started where it was like, hey, y'all remember Al Ewing in the Green Door? We're going to go back to that
Oh,
and
yeah.
forget
Well,
about...
it's doing exactly
I
what it
love Al
should have
Ewing.
done. It's doing exactly what Donny Cates should have done instead of ignoring
Yeah.
the GOAT run that came before him. Like
I know exactly.
that was dumb. And I loved it in the
Exactly.
introduction
Thank you.
page. The introduction page, it gives you like context to Immortal, and then you get one line for Starship Run, and it's just beats around the bush in that one line even. But then you get into the context of the story. The Green Door's closed, so we're about to see the fallout from it. So like the monster deities are rolling out, and even Hulk is pissed about what happened with Starship. He's mad at Banner. Like, yo, this is perfect.
Do I need to
It's
read
great.
Immortal Hawk going into this?
No,
Okay, because that was one of the trades
No,
or like
but I'll-
omnis I was looking for at Heroes because I
you need
haven't.
to read Immortal Hulk.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
read
It's
Immortal.
on my. There was one of the because there's a whole booth that had
Context-wise,
trades.
just know that it introduced the concept and dove into the concept of gamma characters come back to life because of this thing called the Green Door. It's the spiritual door that they walk in and out of from the place below all. Their
It
personal
explores the one below all.
I
And
just
Yeah,
read
it's
the
their-
whole
it's their
whole
personal
previous
hall.
run of the Hawk
I can't.
with the Starship. It was
it's
bad.
so
It was
interesting.
horrible.
It's so good.
Starship Hulk?
was bad.
Yeah,
No,
terrible.
Immortal Hulk.
Terrible.
Immortal
That's
Hulk.
what I was talking about.
Terrible.
Starship Hawk. I said I read that full run. And it was
Yeah, what
terrible.
broke me
horrible.
was there were so many people that were listening to people yell the praises of Immortal Hulk and didn't want to jump in because it was already in too many issues. So they jumped in with Hulk #1 under Donny Cates. And then they all got burned. So does that mean, like, I hope people aren't hesitant to jump in on the new Incredible Hulk because we're back. We're
I
right where
was
this
I was
title
big
should be.
excited for Donny Cates and he killed it.
Well, we got a
Killed it
great
for me.
writer for Incredible Hulk this time.
Yeah.
We got a really good writer, so I'm ready for it.
Kennedy Johnson single-handedly saved Superman to the general audience of comic readers.
And he made DC Comics better
Now
by
I read-
adding Becker.
Now I read 6 or 7 Superman books.
Yeah.
I did get this in the mail in Reddit. Punchline from
And the
All-Score.
Vaudevillains, yes,
Mhm.
that's a good book, dude.
Yeah,
It's
so
a really good book.
he was on Spine Ticks and we were hanging out with them, and basically it's a dude that works in Cleveland, Ohio, which is 45 minutes from me. He's like a steel worker, becomes a clown. He's like a boxer and fighter and stuff, but had him sign it, and he had this homage that came in, and the artwork and
also
story
a
is super cool.
Crazy chick that turns into a clown. That's really cool. That's a great series, man. That is
The
a
reason-
great series.
The biggest reason I got it was if you ordered it on that day, because they're all signed and stuff, but you got Bloom #1, and my girlfriend's last name is Bloom. And it's basically like the dude draws like hentai tattoos on the girl, and she like gets like psychedelic superpowers. And then I got a print from both the creators.
And
That'll be
ladies, fantastic. We also got Donny Cates at his worst, not just because he's on too many titles.
Agreed.
Like a lot of what happened with his run on Hulk, like I'll be honest with you, I don't think I would have enjoyed it to begin with. I don't like overly enjoy Donny Cates to begin with. For me, it's
I'm a Donny
taste-
Cates fanboy, and he
it's a
sucked.
taste
Hulk
thing,
was
and
terrible.
like he just
Do you think
stuff
that
that isn't necessarily for me. But we got Donnie at his worst. He even fell off his own book. He didn't even finish his own book because of personal
Facts.
stuff happening.
Yeah, he's going through some stuff. Do you
But
think
Mark,
he-
I knew the
that played a
second
big
I saw
part?
Scorpio in retrograde, it wasn't going to be good.
I knew the second they announced he was coming to the book, it wasn't going to be good. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just making fun of his ex.
Yeah,
Is she super into horoscopes and stuff?
dude, every week I send Becker her live stream where she's doing he just
Do you know I've been writing down, so on the board next to me, there's all these number times. Every week you send that to me, I write down how long I made it into it.
Are there any type of gem like crystals?
Right now, the
in
record
the
is 7
library?
minutes 11 seconds,
Lots of crystals.
and I do my
horoscopes.
best. I do my best to sift through it.
It's super cringe. It is super cringe. We watch it to keep ourselves sharp. That's all.
Yeah, she is just awful.
I like to blame my personal problems on where the moon is as well.
She does too.
Yeah.
Basically,
there's a theme I've started to develop. Nothing is her fault.
yeah, she's clearly
And,
got one medically induced mood and mode and tone. She's always just this, but what she says is always different and interesting.
I don't know her. I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about.
How dare you say that, Laura?
Megan Cates Hutchinson or Megan Hutchinson.
She's back to the Hutchinson. She's no longer Kate.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah. Well,
it was Kate's wife. They divorced.
Esteban said, I hated Donnie Cates. I never understood the hype. Well, that's the first thing you've gotten right today, Esteban. Good for you.
Dude,
His
same
venom
thing.
rum, his venom rum was.
I had
off
read
the
some
chain.
Kate stuff, and everyone was like blowing smoke about God Country, this and that. And it was a fine story, but it wasn't great. It was
I knew if I
great.
waited
It
long
wasn't
enough,
great.
Esteban would make sense.
It was way overhyped. It was.
Yeah,
I
I'm
loved
gonna
King,
read the
I
whole
loved King
thing.
in Black besides the last issue.
we'll see how.
King in Black was trash after issue 1. Like Noel had a great
I had
intro
fun.
riding in on the Celestial, then it was trash.
That
But
was
I think
one of
a
the
lot of
books I was
people's
looking for.
mileage on
Heroes.
stuff like that varies on based off what
Mhm.
other stuff have you read. Have you read greatness? Because greatness is out there. There's plenty of great things that I haven't even touched on yet. But there are great things out there, and King in Black just falls under serviceable for me.
I was looking for a first Knoll at Heroes. I talked to a
just
couple
wanted to have
dealers,
fun
but they
during
didn't have a
King
good
Black.
price on it.
It was fun.
Hey, Corinne, you don't make sense.
Dude, sometimes that's all I need in comics, bro. Is a lot of action and fun. Some comics I want a ton of story and a ton of word bubbles and a ton of reading and no action, and then other times I'm the opposite. You know.
I wish
Yeah.
King in Black had less story and more action, because every time they tried to do story, they ruined it.
Yeah, it definitely it took the pace and grinded it to an absolute halt.
No, I just meant like with how poor the concept was to begin with.
There's
Y'all
too many
should go back
tie-ins and all that.
In real time, you should go back. God, I can't remember what stream it was on, but Remy Q Studios attempted to do a monthly pool around that time, right?
Mhm.
And
That sounds fun.
You can
I watched
use a
that. I
real-life
went back and watched this.
surfing mind powers, light mind powers. Like the book is terrible when you watch somebody who just is like just hitting it on face value.
Mhm.
Like, and he's a Silver Surfer fan. He's a Thor fan. Like his people are in this book, and he's like, "What?"
He's a Night Thrasher fan now too.
Nice.
Yo, did you watch DJ's video? His clip it.
Silver
Night
Surfer
Thrasher.
Black was
Mhm. Just real quick. Yeah.
Night Thrasher.
I don't think that's a hot take, Lady Fantastic. That's the
But
coolest
see,
take I've ever heard.
But if you're reading if like the consensus that I've heard from everybody is all the symbiote books are bangers off the chain right now. They're all hitting it. So
But they're for you. You
For-
left out you
for
left
the
out
consensus,
for
for
No,
anybody I've heard that are reading them, they're like Spider-Man is in the gutter right now compared to everything else.
Y'all were saying King in Black wasn't good. What about Silver Surfer Black?
I think a lot of people like Silver Surfer Black. I still haven't read it, but
love
already
it.
was
I
on
did.
the cart, wasn't he?
I like
I love
Tradmore's art though, which is
Trad-
not
Yeah.
always a
Who-
popular.
he
I
was-
thing.
complimented
he was-
his
he
writing
was at
so
Heroes,
dude.
right?
That's a beautiful
Right,
book.
Durs?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The combination of Kate's writing with the artwork, it went so well. I have this great big legendary edition of that Silver Surfer Black. It's dope,
Nice.
Not really. I guess.
dude. I love that story.
Yeah, that's where I was.
What was I going to say? Oh, Donnie Cates. For me, the best Donnie Cates was, and here I'm going to tie it back. Ghost Fleet with Daniel Warren Johnson.
Nice.
Written by Donnie Cates. Special Forces truck drivers.
Special Forces truck drivers.
I remember seeing the solicitation for that.
Yeah.
Because when that came out, probably 2015, 2014, something like that. I was DCBS back then. And when I read the solicitation for Special Forces truck drivers, I was in.
Are you looking forward to the venomized Jeff the Land Shark Durs? Because that's coming down the pipe. We just learned that one, didn't we, Scotty?
Jeff the
Man,
Land
get that shit out of here.
And as much as I hate to say it, you know how many Jeff the Landshark fans are out there? It's
7.
insane.
You know how many of them actually read it? 7.
Dude, that Jeff the Landshark
my
one
hand's
shot,
still up, buddy.
dude, when that Jeff the Landshark one shot came out, it was selling for like $20-$30 on eBay. Hard.
He showed up in West Coast Avengers. I was all over that shit.
It's just the Deadpool people. It's just all the Deadpool people.
Venom Pool's gonna be, or Venom Boy's gonna be super big. He's already he's actually gonna be huge in the story.
Fans are out there. How many people like Harley? How many people cosplay as Harley and they don't support the character at all beyond just saying I like it, it's cute, or this or that.
It's easy to cosplay. How about that?
Oh yeah,
there's more people like that in the community than versus like they just show up and show out to support these characters. So there might be a lot of people that say, "Oh, Jeff the Landshark, yay!" and want to like do a quick flip on. But how many people are actually Jeff the Landshark fans outside of Becker and the 6 other ones?
The Deadpool people.
I'm gonna read this Hulk run, this Hulk book, but
what do you got?
I'm having to struggle with the art.
What was that?
Do I like Jeff the Landshark? Like, what kind of person would like that? Same guy that collected the first appearance of Hitmaker, motherfuckers.
Same person who's a speedball fan. It makes sense now.
You know, I would like you to say that sentence again without the derision.
I don't think I can. Night Thrasher.
Night Thrasher.
That was one of the best parts of that video clip when the music dropped.
Real quick. Yep.
Thrasher.
I made it in a DJ video. Are we famous now?
Oh, I love DJ.
The editing was minty. I was up till 3 or 4 a.m. last night editing my basic Friday positivity video, and I watched his video as I'm editing. I'm just like, bro, I have so far to go.
Baby step, man.
Felt it was actually a little bit too fast on the edits and cuts. I can't get a chance to focus on what the image is before he's moving on.
Hence why I have a problem with the Spider-Verse animation. It's too much for me.
Yeah, I'm not an MTV kid.
Well, I can see that, Mark. Some people,
but I need like I keep telling you, Durs. Count 3 seconds before you.
I do, and I literally do that every time.
Not count 2, 3. You can count to 3 really fast. Yeah. You need to count 3.
He does.
I literally
2 1,000.
I make a mental note when I'm showing books forever because you said that. And that's fine. And
I shouldn't have to watch a video hitting the goddamn pause button.
Yeah, if I ever do anything wrong, tell me.
DJ, I watched it. I showed it to the wife so she could see some stuff, and her conclusion was that I'm a fucking idiot. You watch the video. I'm acting like me. I didn't disagree with you.
But my girl said at least he caught my good side.
I loved the
Whenever I show anything on camera, I count 3 Robs jumping over a fence before I pull it down.
Nice. That's what I need to do.
Pretty good.
It says I don't jump over fences.
No, Mike.
You do up here.
I have Snapchat
in the theater of my mind. You do.
Am I doing like a running high jump, kind of flopping over?
You just run through it and trip.
There's a little side jump.
Just run through it and trip.
More like doing a hurdle, then kind of like hurdling it.
He trips, has to get up, dust himself off, and then another one. So that way I have plenty of time to show the book.
Yeah, the video.
I'll tell you what my biggest problem with DJ's fucking video is it made me realize that when I actually pull out my footage to put mine together, it's gonna suck.
I showed
a heck of a trier.
I showed a 3-minute on Monday. I posted a 3 or 4 minute video of the floor, and that's really all I had. Dude, I didn't have time to really pull my phone out and walk around and film.
That's why DJ brings a videographer with him,
and especially being my first con, I was already overwhelmed, and filming and buying books were the very last thing I did. I was just trying to soak everything in, and I'm thankful that everybody took as much footage as they did.
Yeah, I'm with Remy on that. You're going to see enough of the footage of the con floor and people walking around. I even told John, I was like, I'm a terrible person at remembering to
Mhm.
pull my phone out and do that. And I don't know if he got any footage or not. I know he was shot some, but
Like I had to get a picture from Beckerman of me, my girl, Beckerman,
Yeah.
and Bill Morrison because he had it and I didn't.
yeah.
My usual.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna take off.
Beckerman,
Oh,
before,
I-
you,
Later, man.
before you leave,
No, I'm
don't
not
be
leaving.
before you
I was
leave.
just being mean.
Oh, all right. He's being mean because Nick's here. When I start deep diving into this, be prepared for questions.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm already on the first couple pages, and I'm like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah, did you see like how basically Rob's old bubble helmets created comic book conventions as we know it?
Exactly. It all starts with
the first comic
sci-fi.
book convention was started by guys that met each other in the letters pages of Mystery in Space.
Right?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
How
'Cause
proud Rob
that was
is
the only
right
one
now.
that had
Look
a
at Rob.
The
Without
Santa
bubble helmets, we don't have comic book conventions.
That's right. It was.
You're
It was
welcome.
Adam Strange.
That's right.
I wonder if you probably have that one, Rob. Mystery in Space. I think 72 or something like that.
Oh hell yeah!
I think it
Request
has
that
Adam
I get
Strange
a
on the cover.
night pressure?
If it's in the 70s, I absolutely yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
cover
no,
right
it would
there.
have been in the 60s.
No, issue 70.
Issue 72. That's
Yeah,
what I was
not-
talking about. Issue
Not the
72.
1970s, but the
Yeah.
issue numbers is what I'm talking about, Beckerman.
What do you have that issue then?
Oh yeah,
He's got to have it.
Nice.
any issue in the 70s, issue 70 something. Oh, I have all those.
Yeah,
I'm
so
I'm
a
pretty
call
much
went out in the letter pages for a newsletter call that they ended up naming the Rockets Blast.
Yeah.
And in that newsletter, they start sending in letters to each other and saying, hey, we should all meet up. This is basically like the early chat room. And
Right.
and so these guys decide to meet up.
Were they comic
And so
collectors
many of
meeting
them
up?
go on to work in comics or work in writing. Like the two guys working the door at the original New York Comic Con are George R.R. Martin and Len Wein.
Don't spoil the book for me. Let me get in
Sorry.
there.
my
I
copy.
mean,
My copy
only
of
a
that
couple
issue is about a
pages.
5.0.
I'm only a couple pages in, and I'm already,
So basically, a bunch of dudes with a bunch of comic books got together and was like, "Hey,
I'm actually
would you
missing
like
issue
to?"
73, but other than that, I have all the 70s. But
it's just interesting to read stuff like that. And then I
It's
have
interesting to learn.
there was actually a dealer at HeroesCon that is from up here, To Be Continued Comics. And he follows me, and when I posted that, he's like, oh man, I'd really like to read that. And I'm thinking to myself, you're not reading this until I've read it, bro. I'm gonna read it first, then I'll come over there. But I wish they were closer to where I live. It's like an hour and something away, and they're like a real comic book store. They have good stuff, and they give great deals. One time I went over there and bought I had like a stack like that of books, and he was just like, looked at him, he's like, let's just call it $70. And I was like, okay, let's call it $70. That's the way I want it to be, And I know there were some books in there that were like $20 books, and he's like, look, he kind of flipped through them real quick. He's like, let's call it $70. I was like, $70 will work for me. That's the one Michael Acker.
And then Mark pops up and says, now let's do it for 40.
Yeah, where was Mark when I was trying to find a first appearance of Null, bro? God. I was wheeling, dealing, and still couldn't get him low enough.
Durs, when you looked back and only saw one set of footprints in the con, that's when Legion carried you.
Yeah.
Did you just equate him to God? Is that
I know.
Jesus!
Either that, or maybe he was Sand People.
Pops
Oh,
is
right.
clearly God.
It's more like force powers. He just like force choked me around the con and carried me.
He's the Sand People. He goes single file to decide the
Yeah.
numbers.
To hide their numbers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the hashtag We Are Legion.
How's it going, Nick?
good? I'm just saying good morning to you fine gentlemen before I head off to the gym.
Is it leg day? No, and what's funny is as much shit as you get about that, it's fine in person.
No, it really is, but he
It
did,
is.
he did give me the guy who wears pants constantly give me a complex about that.
Who is this?
BJ.
Oh,
He said we met last month, and he was like, I was shaped like Batman the animated series.
That's more of a compliment than anything. I think he
No,
was
man.
swole.
Well,
He
I mean,
was.
I've always
He got the
swollen,
big
man.
shoulders.
Because I got very thin wrists and ankles, but
Yeah,
not
so do
thin.
I, bro.
Hey,
yeah,
oh,
but
Nick,
that yoke.
Nick, all I heard was is that you're shaped like Batman. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now if you could have his bankroll.
Yeah, that's true. I might have overtaken Rob at the convention.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If
Oh,
you
with
had
Batman's
Batman.
bankroll.
yeah,
if
if
you
I
had
had,
that.
yeah, if I
I
had
said,
Batman's
what'd you get that
bankroll.
I didn't see?
You got a Scotty cover. That's
give
pretty
short
awesome.
box your credit card and be like, fill out the card.
Yeah, well, there was an X-Men 13 or 14 and a 9.8 that I saw. That was just like,
There were some pretty impressive books as far as grades go. There were some books that were there. I was like, oh, what the actual?
Yeah, dude.
And not just talking about like the couple boos where you always see the the millennium booth
everywhere.
or whatever. I'm talking about some of the just the regular booths even just going like, oh wow.
I signed short box's wall.
Nice.
So did I. Nice.
Yeah, I know, because I'm waiting for the next time you see it to see what I did.
Ah. All right.
Basically what I did, so I went right under Rob's and then I put a plus so it looks like we're together.
Oh, nice. Did you put a heart around it?
I was gonna say you should put the
I did
heart and then the
not. I didn't
forever.
the guy got kind of weird at that point. He's like, "Oh, you can't mess with other people's signatures." I was like, "It's cool. He'll dig it."
He'll laugh.
Chip, you saw Chip's. I was like, well,
I saw
didn't know
Chip in
brought a
there,
sticker,
too.
right? I should have had a. What's funny is that's the first time I signed the wall was there at that event. And I don't know when they started because I bought stuff, big books from them before. Well, actually, I take that back. I guess the last book I bought from them at a con. It's a significant book, but it was less than $800. So I don't know what their threshold is for signing their wall, but because the last one I bought was at SFN Expo from them. I bought that first appearance of the Silver Age appearance of their brother. But anywho,
Rob, I heard you and Mark were giving this dude Deegan a hard time when you walked by his booth.
that's Mark's tale.
Oh,
It's not
Okay,
mine.
I haven't heard your side.
That
That
not
was my
recollection.
dude.
That's not my recollection of events.
I was so hyped
because
he was
I've
there.
actually been. I talked to Deegan all 3 days that I was there. I mean, I am disappointed that I was on his commission list prior to this event, and I walked away with no commission.
Really?
Because he didn't have time to get it done, supposedly.
Really?
But at the same time, he was complaining about how dead it was and how he had plenty of time to work on commissions. So I'm not sure how that exactly worked, but
What was
I
that?
didn't know he
Nerd?
was-
I missed that.
I didn't know he was going to be there, and I was hyped to
Oh, yeah.
see him. I got the Invincible,
Ooh,
And
that's
then,
cool, dude. I like that.
the Spider-Gwen, and
yeah,
then
I mean, his prints are good. I mean, I picked up a copy of whatever that.
Yeah, I
night-
like that a lot, dude. That's
got them all
really-
whatever
signed
that,
and stuff.
that night club, whatever.
No,
Mhm, Fright
Esteban,
Club.
it was just a joke. I was
Had-
making fun of Nick when he came in.
Had him sign it. And
Mhm,
stuff,
that's cool.
And he gave me a sketch card of Radiant Pink for apologizing that the commission didn't get done. And I told him, I said, well, that's fine. He's like, oh, do you like Radiant Black stuff? Or maybe it was Radiant Black. I was like, oh, I said, yeah, I'll take
He
it.
does them
I'll
all,
give it.
like the Radiant
Yeah.
Black, Radiant Pink, and the
Yeah, no, I know.
Supermassive.
I said, I'll put it for C3 stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I know he's been going. He's got some personal stuff that he's been dealing with, but
Mhm.
it's affected him. But still. It was kind of weird when somebody says you get on a list
Right,
for a
agreed.
commission 2 months prior to the con. Then you get to, I didn't get a chance to do it ahead of time, but I'm going to do it during the con. Then like you talk to them and they say, oh, it's how dead the con is, but at least they got time to work on their commissions. But at the end of the show, I didn't get a chance to get your commission done.
Talked to this dude that did this that I'm beyond thrilled and excited to own. I talked to him for like 45 minutes or an hour the day before when my girlfriend was sleeping, and because he had Venom like sketches that were out, and that's what drew me to him. And I was like, hey man, he didn't have anything spawn. I was like, have you ever done a spawn? And he's like, well, let me do something overnight or whatever. And he did like 4 or 5 different like sketches. And he's like, I just kind of went crazy last night. You kind of inspired me. And then I talked to him and I was like, look, man, I kind of on a budget of like, I want to keep it around like $50 or something like that. He's like, look, just give me your blank. We'll work something out. And he's like, I normally charge 100, but he's like, for you, he's like $40. So I was so happy. And the next time I see him, I'm going to get the Venom like here and then the Spawn in the little corner box down here.
Nice. I'll tell you, Esteban, his Spider-Man 2099 print looks great. The funny thing is, though, because he's a digital artist, he's got the exact same print with just a different skin on it. Whether you want
this
Spider-Man
though
2099, whether you want it to be Scarlet Spider, Amazing Spider-Man, Miles Morales, it's the exact same art with just a different skin on it.
What does this mean? Peter Ick in like the sign that's in the corner. It says Peter Ick. Can anybody see how it's like in the sign? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Me neither, dude. I have no idea. Peter Ick.
Weird.
It is. I didn't notice it until I got home. I was like, what the hell is that? And why does it say
Might
that?
have been the name of the person who did the digital colors.
Maybe. And then the other dude that
Maybe he doesn't like Peter.
Turtle prints are so fire.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Are you done
like
showing prints yet? Because you're killing my soul every time you do it.
Why, you don't like them?
Here, show some more.
I don't do prints. I do originals.
I mean, that's cool and all, but like
some people got to start somewhere, man.
Right. I did both. Does this work?
Prints.
Does this work
That's
for you,
a print.
I know. Does that work better for you?
You have to
It does
understand.
not.
Art,
Does this-
art,
does-
art
does this one-
connoisseurs like Mike and I just we frown upon the
Exactly. Guys like Nick and I that hang out in gyms.
Guys like me,
lift
Nick, and
weights and
Beckerman.
buy away.
Nick, does this work for you?
I don't know what it is.
No, I don't.
Nick, get back there and look at that. That works for me.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
It is. It's my grail of my collection.
Here you go, Beckerman.
I'm taking it to like an actual frame place to have them customized frame it.
This was my first piece of comic. Now I have a Tom Rainey.
Make Digger Jim big, Legion.
I have a Tom Rainey original art piece that I bought years ago at Baltimore, but this is the piece I bought at Heroes.
Nice.
Of a panel of Barbara and Dick making out, and they're happy up until that certain point where she looks sad. But that's from that digital comic I was talking about, and I couldn't pass it up. He's like $40 if it's yours. I'm like, deal. And it looks beautiful. I mean, looking at it now more closely, I'm impressed with how he does it.
I could have spent thousands on prints, bro. They were so dope.
That's my first piece of original comic book art. So I'm
Nice,
happy
congrats.
And that Steve Mannion was cool too.
He's awesome. Yeah,
That's
I'm a
my
big
first
fan of his.
ever commissioned. That's my first ever commissioned piece on a comic book, though. Yeah, that's fire. My kid was like, "This is awesome. What are you going to do with it?" I said, "I'm probably going to stick it somewhere in the room next to the other Godzilla I have."
I have to admit that it'll be on my radar now to be going through artists'
portfolios.
Yeah.
You should have always been doing that, Nick.
No, but you know what it is, Mike? For me, it's like pages are cool, but the kind of person that I am, I need splash pages. I need covers.
Oh, they've got those.
I've got caviar taste, but like a Budweiser budget.
Exactly.
I'm the same way, Nick.
Exactly.
when you attain one of those, to me, like, I like the idea that I can show things that nobody else can show. Rob will all agree won HeroesCon, but when he shows off his books, people can be like, "Oh, here's my Avengers one. Here's my, first appearance of Punisher." It becomes a race to the grade at that point if you really want to flex on somebody. But I can take something simple that I didn't pay a ton of money for, like this page featuring Night Thrasher.
You definitely did not pay a lot of money for that.
No, $75 negotiated by Mr. Legion over there. And they
wanted $150.
Original price $1,000.
No, they wanted $150. I told him you're out of your mind.
They wanted $125 actually, Mark.
They wanted $150. I remember because I asked. Yeah, they wanted $150. That's why I said 75. I started as low as I was going to go, and I wasn't going any higher.
Yeah.
So New Warriors Volume 4, Issue 16, Page 16. I know nobody else can show this off because I'm the only one who owns it.
So you're like Tigger.
You bounce on your tail, Mike?
Yeah.
You're friends with bears?
Like Speedball that way, too.
Yeah, that was probably the easiest thing to negotiate for, and
you beat that kid up, and he was like, "You're making me uncomfortable."
he said
that.
Yeah, then I'm like, "Oh."
He's like, "I don't like it when people tell me what to do."
Oh my god!
Worked as soon as he showed blood in the water. I'm like, "Oh, it's time to attack now."
Yeah, for real.
That's funny.
Mark,
all right, boys.
Yeah, whenever I show that book off or that page off, nobody else can show that page.
Right.
No, like to Flash's point, yeah, I am. I'm unrelenting, but to that, I had one day where me and Rob walked around. It was just him and I told Pops this, like next time me and Rob are at a con, I'm gonna go with him because when me and him were together, it was like I'm like, oh my god, I found my soulmate. Because when we were looking at a book, and I shit you not, the guy brings a book down. He tells us the price, and I said, "Well, let's just get honest here. What's the lowest you can do, or what's the best you can do?" And the dumbass said, "You make me an offer." I'm like, "Here we go again." I said, $10. You want to meet in the middle? And he's like, "I don't know." I'm like, $175. And Rob goes, "I'll make it even easier. I'll give you $175 for that book, or I'm going to walk right now." I'm like, yes. Like
it was
it's all.
It was like Rob's lifting him up and Mark's bringing him down in the 3D.
Yeah, we just big rigged this guy.
Big rigged.
Oh Lord!
The dude just froze. He's like, "I need to make a phone call." I'm like, got him.
7-star FTR.
Yeah, but he didn't come where I wanted on that Luke Cage though. So
I wasn't there for Luke Cage. I'm sorry.
No, you were.
Which one was that? Oh, the next guy.
No, I think it was the same guy, or maybe it was the next guy.
No, we walked to the next guy, and like at that point, you like this was when you weren't trying to buy books, and we were just kind of hitting them. I was just kind of shit talking people after that. I'm like, why you got your best price one down here? You need to put your most expensive. I just start throwing shit at these people before I even start trying to talk books. You just get them off their feet.
And into the big rig with Rob.
And me and Rob, we took that dude to Suplex City though, man. It was funny as shit. Like he didn't even have time to process what I said before Rob said, "You don't have time to process it, now decide." Like, you don't get time to process.
AR's comment, "I'm predicting we will be banned from Heroes in 3 years for bullying."
Oh, I mean, I think that some of them expect that. I mean, I think some of those dealers expect that. Like they know.
Me, Chip, and Austin got like I sweet negotiate some people, not even by on purpose, but I'm just sitting there looking, and it takes a while to find something that I actually want. Yeah, I'm talking to this guy who turns out he was a young cat. He was a lawyer. He said, in his words, "I'm a lawyer in real life." And I
Is
heard
that Reese?
red hair?
Yep.
So I heard that and I thought to myself, well, if you're going to say some stupid shit like that at a comic convention to a guy looking through comics that you're a lawyer in real life, you probably don't value these things as much as I do. So I'm about to come at it. So I found like the first appearance of Wendigo for $75. I found the first meeting of Alan Scott and Hal Jordan for $50. And I'm seeing stuff and I'm just continuing to flip. You know what I mean? Just keep going. Then I go back and I pull the Wendigo. I'm like, what's the best you can do on this beat up piece of shit? So I'm talking his language now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this ain't even real life. Yo, what's the best you can do for this beat up piece of shit? Then he goes, oh yeah, I can do it. I'm like, oh cool. Let me go back and grab the Green Lantern thing because it was the last day. I left like my primary like stash of cash in my luggage when I packed the car on accident. So I ended up getting the $75 book and the $50 book, not for $125, but $70 total. I'm like, worked out. So I just kind of played to his arrogance and his ego about like you don't want it. It doesn't sound like to me he even values these things. So it worked out good.
I like Lady Fantastics. You should have said I'm sorry when he told you he was a lawyer in real life.
Is that
or you
why
could have just said, I thought you had that sharp, useless look about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was happy. This was like the biggest key that was left for me to get out of my whole
It's
run.
really nice. That's cool.
Morning, madam.
Yeah, it was really great to get.
Yeah, that's
because I don't like actively like hunting them down too hard. I just get to them when I get to them. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
I like the placement right now. Syrup on top of pancakes.
All we need is butter.
Yeah, where is butter?
Austin was right there. Austin was getting him some very rare Spawn books.
And some pre-code horror he picked up as well.
I mean, like with me and Chip at that last booth. But Austin picked up some big books as well. If only he had a YouTube channel.
2025.
He's got one.
Coming soon.
I mean, he's got a following. He's got a channel. He's got subscribers. If he had
He's
more,
got more subscribers than I do.
He's doing good over there.
It's happening. It's happening.
I believe Hoarder's Hide is butter, correct? Nick?
Oh, your biscuits.
It is.
Nick, what was the biggest thing you picked up outside of becoming an art collector?
You know how many people got art at this show? I'm so proud of y'all.
I didn't pick up anything big. I picked up a Treasury edition, which I don't.
I'll tell you one thing: people weren't budging on that goddamn Deathlock book this weekend.
No.
Like, dude, I don't know what it is about that book, but we hit numerous vendors, and they're all outside of their goddamn mind.
No, and the one time I was with Mark, there was one first Deathlock that was priced pretty well. That was right there at FMV, but there was an X-Men 94 that the guy wanted 2,300, I think it was, Mark.
It was 3 times over what its FMV was.
Yeah, he was like, I said, what's the best you can do on that? And if he came down to that, I would have bought that then, but he was like,
20. Oh, that's about as good as I can do.
So he was trying to charge you for his mistakes of buying during the peak.
Right.
Yeah.
2,100, and now I can buy that book like Mark said on eBay for like $800.
Yo, that same mentality is why I chose to viciously go after that Dinobots I got, because that was the guy, that vendor that we were sitting at for a while, Nick, where I was just going back and forth with that dude and just wouldn't give up. That was the guy from Joe Fest who had the first Dead Man for $1,600. It was about at best a $300 copy, but I wanted to just. And he told me like he overpaid for it during the spike, and like he's not coming down on that. But he
You're gonna hold it for a while.
Yeah, he overprices everything like delusional. And he had $60 on the first Dinobots, which is like a $20-$30 book in a high grade.
Yeah,
This one is a high grade. And I was going back and forth with him, like pulling like just shit out my ass. He's like, "You need to look on Key Collector." I'm like, "What the fuck is Key Collector?" He's like, "Young man, I'm about to learn you something." And like,
Then when Mark had him on the line.
And then I let the older gentleman take the extended amount of time it takes to open an app on his phone. And when he finally does, I just show him that I have it already up on my phone. I'm like, I know what Key Collector is, man. Like, I was just giving this guy shit. And then I saw that he had like all these books overpriced on the wall, but he had a first G.I. Joe not even priced. And he's digging. While a lot of this is happening, he's having to come up and down while he's digging to look for this Dinobots book that he knows he has somewhere in his stock under the table. So I see the G.I. Joe book. I already have a 9.2 in my bag that I got for a steal. And I asked him how much he wants for the G.I. Joe book. He had in an 8.0. And he gave me a price that was way over what I already paid for my 9.2. I said, well, I'm thinking, what if I trade you my G.I. Joe for your G.I. Joe, then you give me a lot of your other shit for free. And he's like, well, how much do you think that 9.2 is worth? And I told him, based on your value assessments, probably about $5,000. And all while this is going on, going back and forth with this guy, before even getting to Dinobots, like Comic Man Andy and Chris are just like sitting there putting stickers in my pockets, just waiting on me. And it was just fun, man. But he eventually got he was cool. I'll be honest with you. The guy was cool. His prices sucked, but he was cool. He was willing to look up the Dinobots thing. And I pull money out of I look at Pops and I pull money out of my pocket. And I just hold it out while he's sitting there looking up this book. And then he finally pokes his head and goes, just give me 25. And he takes my money and gives me the book. And it was just, it was fun. So I finally bought a book from this guy. And I got the first appearance of King Kong from him for $6. And that was a not a $6 book.
The first appearance of Rob Fatstacks? King Kong, not King Kong.
Duh.
Or King. Duh.
Yeah, they had 15 on it.
That's nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's a really cool cover.
Mm-hmm. It's just fun. It's fun haggling with people.
I got my first Dinobots. Cali Comics gifted me that last year in an AOK.
Yeah, when I decided that I'm going to collect Transformers, I'm like, I need one and Dinobots because I'm still not sure what the issue is because I'm so fresh at collecting Transformers. I think it's 8. Was that 8?
I can't remember.
8 or 9, yeah.
Honestly.
Well, first Dinobot, you said? Yeah, I think it's 8.
Yeah, like Grimlock's one of my favorites because the Michael Bay movies. Don't mistake me for
like Autobot Commander.
Don't mistake me for someone who knows a lot about this shit. I only know about the movies, but because of the movies, I wanted this one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
for anybody that wants to see Mark, what it was like to watch Mark negotiate with dealers. Go to Daredevil season 2 when the Kingpin beats up that or kills that Russian in his limo.
Car door?
Yeah.
With the car door.
Yeah,
basically it's that, and Mark is the Kingpin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rocky 4, the Creed Drago fight. I thought.
Yeah, it didn't have the rage though of Kingpin in the car door. Like
Mike, you remember before we met and went to this con? I told you, like, the first step is to be offended by their prices.
Yeah, and he really is. Like, when he started savaging the kid for my art, like, the funny part is I didn't even want it, really. I was thinking about just saying, nah, I'm going to move along. Your price isn't right. And just move. Now I'm obligated to pay $75 after Mark has just destroyed this kid, and the kid's like, I don't really do well with this, like I don't like conflict, and Mark's just like undeterred. And
well, in that case it's $50.
I look at it like this. Mark is like if you guys have seen all those old school kung fu movies where the young guy's being taught by the old guy, and he's like got a stick and he's like, you're standing wrong, and he's hitting him with the stick. That's what I look at Mark as. Because my first meeting with Mark, he was like, put that money away. What's wrong with you?
And I almost threw in with the kid to try to help him. Like I felt so bad.
Which is funny because he gives the best.
I was like, I don't know. He's in charge, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, until
I didn't realize that was I apologize for that, Jim. That was my natural instinct to slap a grown man's hand that I had just met in person that day. Put your money away.
When you went into mode, I was like, holy shit, he just saved me some money. Let's just hang out and do whatever he said.
My other favorite Mark quote, which is about art. I don't know if Mark even realized I could hear him, but Pops and I were getting left behind because once Mark gets out on that floor, he's got to move.
Yeah.
If he stops, he's like a shark. If he stops moving, he dies.
He dies.
Which is why Steranko's line was so painful to him.
It was the worst.
So
I'm
Pops
like
and I
that
are
too.
I had just given Pops an A-OK that I just picked up at a dealer, some Ramona Fredone art, and we're talking about, you know, the silver age of artists, and somebody asked, somebody else in our group had found Mark at that point, and they're like, "Where's Pops?" And he's like, "Back there talking some bullshit art with Becker." And he just keeps moving, and I'm like, "Man, this guy is savage." Like,
I love it. I think it's awesome.
But until you
just
met
the
Mark,
derision in his voice, just like, I gotta keep moving.
I don't have time.
These guys are holding me back.
And I
But
had nowhere to
until
be. That's the funny thing. I had no goals.
But he had to keep moving. He's like a shark.
But until you've met Mark, you've never met somebody who hugs with both arms and both legs.
I hold on tight.
It's like a koala bear.
Pops was great, man.
Yeah, sure was.
Yep.
We were out to breakfast one of the days, and we were Saturday morning. We had breakfast, and
How's it
he
going,
said
Chris?
we were talking about artists and the history of comics and stuff. And at one point, he stopped and he's like, "You know, Mike, you really know your stuff." And I was like, "Man, I want to get that printed out and put it on my mom's refrigerator. Like, it just warmth."
You could get that put on a name badge, even, or how about a business card? Mike Becker.
Would it be weird to put it on my resume?
I really know my stuff.
Under
I
other
really
skills.
know my
I really know
stuff.
my stuff.
Hey man, I mean,
Hey,
That's
I
the
aspire
only hits the deal.
I aspire
snack
one day
can
to
saves the most
be
money.
that.
What is going on, Son of Bruce? I don't know if you saw my my recap video, Chris, but thank you so much, both Chris's from Retro Rocket and the Comic Vet, for that amazing
Oh,
gift.
damn, Esteban.
yes, I must have it. We can't hug.
Just get flagged.
Yeah, it's not. You know what, Nick? I thought you were.
I, for one, thought Nick looked pretty muscular from the last time I've seen him.
Aggressive. I would have probably left the line if it wasn't so much fun in the line, because one of the comic book fiend guys was behind me, and he wasn't very socially outgoing, so I was helping him get over that fear, even though I just met him that minute. And then everyone kind of kept walking by. Like, that's where I first talked to Drac, Hylox. Becker was he was in shouting distance, which if me at a con, shouting distance is the thing I take advantage of. Like, it's a big ass room. Why is everyone so quiet?
I'd be walking around, and all of a sudden, like, Mark would be like, "Becker!"
We're all into the same shit, right? Like, we know each other. Like, even with strangers. Like, why are we acting weird?
Yeah. Some people aren't
And I would know
sociable, though.
exactly what you were doing too. You'd be like Becker, and you'd point at something, and I'd be like, "Oh, I know what he's."
Mm-hmm. The only time that you weren't like 100% in line with me was when I was holding a utensil at the dinner table, looking crazy at you, because you wondered.
Yeah, I
first,
didn't pick up that you were about to stab Drac in the chest.
Yeah, because I was trying to like be subtle, because he was behind me. I didn't want him to see the utensil, so I'm just like this, waiting on Becker to look up at me. Which, if we're in the same area, it doesn't take long. We look into each other's eyes often, which is a good thing. You should do that with all your friends. But when
I
we looked
forgot
over,
all about.
I kind of did like the slightest head nod. I'm like that, and he goes, which meant
I
what?
figured it
And
out as it was happening.
And then he lit up. He goes, he
Yeah. And you were already turning.
yeah.
You were already turning.
So I had prepped my phone and pulled up the actual Van Helsing account. So I didn't even say a word. I was turned around. I staked him in the chest. He looked crazy at me. And I just held my phone up to him. And I watched the gear start turning. And then they broke. His gears broke.
Yeah, it took a minute. And Nick's on the other side of me. That was perfect. Good witnesses for it. AR had to turn around. So AR's across from me.
Yeah,
Mark's
he was
next
right
to
behind
him.
me.
And I got Nick next to me on my side of the table. And Drac was behind AR and Mark.
It was awesome. Couldn't have.
I
done
wish I
that.
would have filmed it. That would have been the.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad that it wasn't filmed. The best moments
Yeah?
are never caught on tape. Like, we were all in the moment. Everyone just like it was so fun. There was a few of us that knew about it.
The
Not
look
very many.
on his face. Well, yeah, because you had told the Illuminati,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew because the whole thing came out of a phone conversation
this
with
was-
Mark.
materialized for me.
I had this idea I was like, and that's the thing is I just spit out nonsense. And then Mark's like, nah, I'm going to do that. Because I had this idea the one day, and I remember we were just talking about nothing. I was like, I happened to be watching YouTube while talking to Mark, and I was like, I should make like a Stan account of actual Dracula called Actual Van Helsing, or we could do like a factual Dracula or other stuff. And Mark's like, all of a sudden, 2 minutes into it, he's like, all right, look at the chat. And I look over and Actual Van Helsing is posting. Oh man, that's how quick it was. Mark had it done in 2 minutes.
Good morning. I met Hialeah at the con as well. I think it was day 3.
It was great to meet him too, for sure.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, but why would you whisper when you can yell?
I heard a lot of people say that it was much less, kind of dead compared to last year. But
it was sold out. Like they
works for me. I mean,
yeah,
I was pretty happy with the amount of people.
They hit what they want, and they don't overpack it. It's not a cash grab con. They don't take advantage of their attendees. They make sure that there's plenty of people there for their vendors. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was good flow. Plenty of space to move around. You didn't feel cramped. You didn't feel like you had people on top of you at any time, and that was just perfect.
Honestly, though,
for a con that didn't have like actual big companies there presenting, which I don't even know how much longer that's going to be. That might have left with the pandemic, because I've noticed DC and Marvel aren't paying that money anymore to have a presence at cons. Some of the very big ones they are, but
the entire city of Charlotte was like that. Very easy to move around.
We went for World of Beers. We must have been like 95% of their business that night.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look like there was hardly
of the entire mall.
So that's why I was saying we should go to World of Beer, because it was like great location. It was close. It was in that cut and everything. And last year, all those stores were open. But Becker found out from his Uber driver that like they're kind of slowly shutting down that plaza. So I'm glad that we went this year.
Was that real?
I mean, it was great, especially since the place wasn't packed. It was.
Yeah, there'd been 3 shootings there in the past year.
Well, that's nothing. Come to Oakland.
Yeah, of course, California says that. Oh, well, that's going to a baseball game.
The state with some of the stricter gun laws. Yeah, it's just.
All right, fellas, I'm off to go do legs. Love you.
All right,
Nick, take it easy, my man.
See you later.
My man.
Really? My man.
That's step 2 in the haggle process. Step 1, be offended. Step 2, my man. Not like Denzel. It's important. If you say it like Denzel, they'll get the wrong message.
You can't say it like Denzel. It's my man.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
The
food was
amazing.
decent.
No, stop it. The food was amazing.
I mainly ate at the hotel.
No,
or do you mean World of Beers? World of Beers food was amazing.
Yeah, the flatbreads were amazing. The salads that they had,
the macaroni and cheese balls.
So Becker was making fun of me because when they came and brought their salads out, I'm like, Jesus Christ, can you smell that? Because they clearly just cut it off for that thing. Like, it was so vibrant. I'm like, yo, this smells amazing. And like, I wanted to be that dick that I am at all my family gatherings and start eating as soon as I see food. But I wanted to wait till they got the whole presentation.
Oh, you were picking at it, and you thought Rob couldn't see you, but I saw Rob dart an eye over. He saw you picking.
I didn't think there was that much celery in the world.
No, I didn't either.
I thought Rob was going to slap your wrist, like, get out of there, kid.
Get out of that thing.
I kind of thought when I ordered those veggie trays, I thought there was going to be more than celery and carrots. I really expected. I'm used to seeing them where there's a variety of different vegetables there presented, not just an entire one of the platters being an entire platter of celery. It's like that's just flipping insane. But yeah, whatever. We had so much food.
And it was just like last year in terms of like the food never stopped coming. So last year, me and Chip Getler went into the bar, and I ordered my buffalo cauliflower like a goddamn gangster. And then Chip sat there and he goes, I want one of these. And this is literally what he did. The lady came with the pad. He goes, I want one of these, one of these, one of these. And he did that to the entire menu one at a time. He said enter the menu saying, give me this. So we were there last year in a decent sized group because, Marcus was there. I think his wife was with her, Pokey.
Yeah.
Joe, you, your brother, me, Pops, Chip, Southpaw Brad was there. Like there was a decent sized group last year, especially when we went to World of Beer, and the food never stopped. Like they were bringing it. We're like, yo, we're getting ready to leave. Can y'all stop bringing food?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had
Those macaroni and cheese balls, man.
They never brought out all the food that we apparently had ordered. Apparently,
yeah. They said they told Rob at the end. He's like, all right, we're wrapping up. Blah blah blah. Like, yeah, we still got food coming. He's like, you can. We're done.
I'm like, oh yeah. Apparently, I way over ordered, but that's all right. I would have, like I told a couple of people, I would have much rather that we spent $40 a person and had more food than we could possibly eat than spend $35 and be like, hey, you can't have any more. You make sure everyone gets some, because that's really the difference. It's only a couple dollars a person that really makes the difference on some of those things.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But yeah, good times.
Next year, if we go to Heroes, I'm afraid we probably will have to find. I'll go. We'll have to find somewhere else to eat at because we're putting all that stuff down. Because the diner that we ate at last year was down there too. That was one of the last few places that was open. They have like a high-end restaurant.
There might be something new by then, though, in the place of that land there. I mean, because it looks like they're getting.
Yeah, because you can't really get rid of that plaza. The plaza is like built into other buildings that are like
right.
Yeah.
I just found it interesting.
That they're trying to push out what they had there, but they might restart,
Yeah, there's a dentist office there. Like when we were walking around, I was like, look, this is like a regular, it's a dentist.
But it was closed.
There.
Everything was boarded up.
CJ with the drinks there, that was my choices. There were packages that included cola and there was packages that included alcohol.
They had water. I had no problem with the drink choice.
I specifically chose to make
water was fine.
Yeah. I
specifically chose to make after being at the
all the drinks.
The trick was to get to the water before Mark looped back to it.
I drink a lot of water, bro.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm well aware.
So was I, because I was drinking. That's all I was drinking. It was like
I got to the point where I was standing up there. I would fill up 2 cups, and I would just be like, "Hey, can we get some more water?" And I was just there drinking.
Yeah.
Hey,
I thought you were moving.
I am. I'm waiting on the stepson to get his wallet because he's driving. So, yeah, so I can open these because I forgot what they were.
No, you didn't. But go ahead and open it and show us. We don't know.
Okay.
That's like
I'm sad I didn't get to meet you, Alan.
I met him. It was all right.
I'm pretty sure something just fell off your key between the porch. Let me see. I dropped your key. Something fell off. No, it didn't. Looks like something's in between there. There's nothing there. Jackass. Anyway, okay, nothing fell. Nothing fell. Just get in the car. Drive.
Mike, the Coke was available at the bar. It just wasn't included in the
And in terms of the bar, like I heard DJ and Madeline talking about how like the prices were insane compared to what they were used to, like in a good way. They said all weekend long they barely spent, or at the World of Beer they barely spent anything. Where it back in New York, that would have been one drink a piece for them.
Yeah.
Well, what was really nice was so Sunday evening, DJ, Maddie, and I went to dinner over at Dean's Steakhouse.
Did y'all get in?
Yeah, so we went over there and they didn't have a table inside. They said we could sit like at a high top or the bar, but then they said, "Oh, we have patio seating," and we're like, "Oh, yeah." It was like super nice outside, and they had fans going on outside. So we went and sat outside on their patio. It was a great dinner.
And Alan is frozen.
I mean, it was
with happiness.
It was not inexpensive, but I mean we knew that going in there. So. Well, Journey, next time you can plan the whole deal and you can make sure that the Coca-Cola is included.
CJ, you were experiencing the hospitality of American Airlines at the time.
Yeah. We were just a dinner. We invited the folks that were scheduled to still be there Sunday night and into Monday morning.
And just a recap for everyone, Comic Journey, when he travels via American Airlines.
His
for
favorite
CJ,
airline.
there's no other choice than American Airlines.
He loves
This
it.
is Unknown Comics, Venom number 28, Unknown Comics variant.
Unknown was
Nice.
what that was
Really
the thing
think
that was
I-
only the retailer
think I paid-
set up at the shop.
Paid $2 for that.
Well,
Makes sense.
yeah.
The shipping costs more than the book.
Alan,
That's
where
pretty
you
much
at in
that's
the
pretty
movie
much the pop,
process?
that was pretty much the Pop's Attic mystery box. Shipping costs more than the box.
Yeah.
Mhm. But that's when you get books at a price that you can afford to do that with.
Flat rate. Don't get me started on Becker. Oh, don't get me started, Becker. Okay, well, it's getting close. I had shifted my meeting today and getting close to having to jump off here so I can go to Romania.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Which was funny to listen to Pops ask me a question. What's up with that? He didn't realize that I actually had a team in Romania, and he was wondering why I keep if it was code for something when I say it's time to go to Romania. That was great.
Or no, it's right.
My guy from Romania is here, and he's actually headed back home tomorrow. I'm bummed. I missed him. I didn't get to metal detect with him because he was like, "Why are you going to that?" I was like, "I don't know if you noticed the shirt says comics and metal detecting. That's the other part of it. Quit being a snob. We'll just have to meet up when you come back to the real world, away from that foreign country. Get over it, son."
Venom Inc. Omega.
So let me get this straight.
Nice.
You don't have time to
That's cool.
open comic books on our channel, but you got time to show
All
up
right.
on Legion's channel.
Listen. I am in the car. The
I
stepson's
want to
driving.
listen to your excuses.
I'm actually fearing for my life right now because he's driving. But
He needs to be paying attention to the road. There you go.
his driver's license test is next week or next month, so he needs to
Right.
drive.
Yeah.
So speed limit on this road 55. Do 70.
That works well in the driver's test too.
Yeah. Definitely do that. Do you
So
live in Maryland?
apparently
That's what I do.
his brother ran a stop sign during his driver's test and still passed.
Wow.
Why are we talking about stuff that isn't why you refuse to make content with me?
I don't refuse to make content. Everything is packed, dude.
That sounds like excuses.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know anymore,
just got
man.
those in the mail. Shut up. And I just got those like 20 minutes ago in the mail.
The never-ending series of disrespect. How many more cheeks? I have no more cheeks left to turn, buddy.
Your butt cheeks.
Don't worry, I got like a month's worth of content to unbox in mail.
There you
Well,
go.
I don't know who your co-host is going to be because I'm going shopping.
No, you're not.
Mike, just let you know, every once in a while, Chris needs some time off.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true.
Oh, what? Hey, no pilfering my co-host.
I can't be a part of Digger Jim's channel because digging sounds
Hey,
like
Finn.
exercise, so
Thanks
I'm
for
not
working.
doing that.
The Finnosaurus Rex.
Vaughn likes
hear you,
penance,
Rob.
so I'm definitely not going on his channel. Legion, he's too
all
big
right.
for me.
You're already on my channel, bro. You're in the video.
I guess I'm staying with Alan for now, unless somebody wants to send me a better offer.
I'll match it.
All right, I'm out.
Hey,
I got to go and start doing some editing. John and I are going to go live, I think, Saturday before Only Slab. So I have no idea what he picked up because he kept his stuff close to the vest, and I wasn't with him as much as.
I didn't notice he was wearing a vest.
Yes, exactly. And
who was keeping it close to their vest?
my bro, like he would show me something, and then I was.
You didn't go through his stuff at night.
I didn't.
Well, that's what separates you from me and Alan's stuff on Thursday night.
We're gonna go through our stuff live. I just wanted to have him on, and he's got such a tight schedule with things going on. I said let's do it Saturday before Only Slab. So look for us to go live and show whatever he got, and I'll show the rest. I'll show my stuff again, even though you've already seen it. If you watch, you watch. If you don't, you don't. I'll see you later.
Bye, Jim.
Bye.
All right, Miss.
I'm well aware of the fact that room.
Wasn't sure who Miss Heroes was, but
I know what fellow. Yeah, but I know where it is, so it's okay. It's all right.
anyway.
I was trying to say something fell off.
All right, I do have to run off as well myself.
Yeah, I'm about to bail. It's about 10:30. I'm not feeling like sitting here too much longer.
So there we go. There's their show, ladies and gentlemen. We're happy to have you.
Let's kill it.
It's been fun enough this morning. Scotty's going to be going live later on today.
What is he going live for?
You're going to have to go over there and just hit that notification bell to find out because he's not going to tell you a damn thing right now.
You don't know what Scott's going to tell me.
I'm just kicking and hanging out.
Tomorrow, Only Slabs is back with Dragon Ink Comics, big collector, Golden Age, Fawcett Comics, and Justice Society.
What is happening, E-Man? Well, since you just got here, E-Man, I'll show one.
Matter of fact, Mark, you might really dig it. Dragon Ink Comics has got been collecting first cover appearances of the JSA members.
Dinobots.
That's some Paul Cook shit right there. That's some big boy shit.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hasta la pasta via con queso.
See y'all Sunday, 8:30 for At Week's End. Only Slabs, Comic Viking, S-Fon 82. Y'all have a fantastic day. It was awesome at the con. If you're in the chat, start planning for next year, HeroesCon 2024.
Call me,